Hello. No, I can't.
Start over.
It's so hard.
Start over.
This is Table Goth, a group of tabletop gaming enthusiasts and gothic aficionados, and we are here to play the chronicle Fall of London. This is episode 1 of who knows how long it'll take to do this. Probably not that long. This was something new and exciting, where instead of playing brand new teenage vamps, we'll be playing merry old London vamps and showcasing our extensive dialogue training. Like anything in World of Darkness, things could get uncomfortable. If you have sensibilities and you look out for yourself, do so. Otherwise, it's a lot to cover. So let's do a quick introduction on... Well, let me tell you about the plot real quick. Is they'll be playing vampires who don't really know who they are. They've been in torpor for a while, and they know that they're vampires, they know what they can do, and that's about it. So you'll learn who they are while they learn who they are. I already know. It's all right. Let's do our introductions. Just say your name, your clan, and you can read your little snippet about yourselves that each of you got. Starting with...
I am Ms. Petty Dreadful. I will be playing Alice Mockingdale. I'm going to try it, guys.
Go on.
Your name is Alice, and you appear to be a young woman. That went south fast. In her early 20s with dark hair and features. Your skin is weathered from a life outside with a dusty cast that reveals a mixed heritage somewhere in your ancestors. Your hands are calloused and leathery, showing that you're no stranger to hard work. But you know you studied magic and you have inherited a legacy from your ancient ways. You remember that you have done dark things to gain power, and you would do them again in a heartbeat if you had to. So I'm Scottish now.
Yeah,
That was
you did a quick shift over the aisles there. Boy. All right.
You want us to read all that, or can I just do a quick blurb up top?
Oh, I'm also a Tremere. I didn't say that.
There you go. That's what we care about. All that isn't like 3 sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
He never learned to read.
All right. I'm Dr. Henry Banerjee. I am a Carter. I am born in 1876. I appear to be neatly groomed. I didn't do that part. In his late 30s. Some might say that you were a little too neat, but you don't think you can ever have too much order. You were a medical man. When you are living, a creature looks like clockwork to you. And though you learn to suppress and manage the impulse, a part of you longs to take it apart like a watchmaker. I'm done.
All right, that brings us to...
I'm Mandy Morose, and I'm playing Lady Catherine Montague. She is a Ventru.
She married.
Huh?
No, she's not. She's definitely English. Go on.
Definitely English. It's Catherine. You appear to be in your early 20s and classically beautiful, with pale skin, long blonde hair, and natural grace. You feel that you are accustomed to wealth, but that it was never what you really wanted. You remembered your life feeling like a cage, but one where only you could see the bars.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
I like that.
Like Joanna and Sweet.
So finally,
What clan are you?
Ventru.
I thought she said that.
I missed it.
Anyways,
Well, let's hear it.
I'm Baxibro. I'm going to be playing Tommy the Nosferatu. Tommy is a young black man in his early 20s. Much of your body is, especially your right side, is covered in deep burned scars. You know you were a soldier, and you were sure that you saw active service. The burns and scars make that obvious. The horrors of war sit whispering on the fringe of your memory. And I wasn't going to try to read that in British accent, because I already know I can't read in a British accent, because it's very hard.
Yeah,
We'll
you
get
become a
there.
Scottish person by the
Yeah,
end.
something happens.
It'll work.
So yeah, the premise for this game is these are all pre-made characters. These are 4 out of the 5. The only one that's not being played is I think Taylor. This is a Bruja. But yeah, so these are pre-mades that are sort of woven into the story in a pretty cool way, and we'll get into that. Oh, Tony, that's it. But otherwise,
Castelli.
I'm Bully. I'm the storyteller, and this is Fall of London.
Isn't it?
Ain't it? This is Fall of London, ain't it? getting started. Each of you comes to with the rich taste of blood in your mouth that's stirring inside your body as it makes its way through your veins. First as a tingle, then jolts, testing parts of your corpse, then a dull roar, demanding more. While you cannot ignore this hunger, your mind calibrates for a moment to take in your surroundings. You see whitewashed breeze blocks, a concrete ceiling, and thick bindings holding you against the metal table on which each of you lay. There's a large metal door that's slightly open, seems to be the only entrance and exit. You are each filthy. You have dirt and mildew eating away at your very simple, ragged clothes. You see a bald man with dark skin, dressed in all black trousers and a button-up shirt, muttering something almost inaudible in what you assume is some sort of Latin. He's gingerly carrying a heavily decorated ceramic gauntlet. Blood is collected along the rim and dripped on the side where it's been tipped into each of your mouths. It's currently running down an image of a man slaying a bull, which he sort of wipes the blood off, smearing it a bit on the goblet. Takes a few steps back and just watches each of you very carefully while continuing to mutter and grasp the gauntlet close to his chest. What would you like to do?
Sense the unseen.
Okay. Is that free?
I believe so. I didn't write down rouse.
So, immediately you see what's around you, which doesn't seem familiar. It seems quite foreign, actually. So you immediately try to look beyond that, past the veil between this world and the others. And you see nothing else out of the ordinary.
And you said we're chained? Or
There's like
restrained?
thick leather straps are holding you to these metal tables.
Yeah, I'll break those.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Are you using any potence?
Sure. It's a rouse check to use prowess, which will allow me to add my potence to my strength of an athletics feat.
As you are uncomfortable strapped down, getting ready to bust out, you can feel you are very hungry. Each of you is at hunger 4. As your beast starts to stir, you quickly feel that if not careful, it can very easily just immediately take over.
Did we all go into torpor on purpose?
We don't know.
We don't know.
You
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
don't know anything.
Well, in that case, I would rather not risk.
Okay. As you sort of give this man sort of a look, and he could see you sort of testing the bindings, he just sort of shakes his head.
What's the meaning of this?
I am Angelino del Silva, Clan Bruja, if that means anything to you. Initiate of the Mithraic mysteries. We were all retrieved from a crypt in central London. We are currently in the Docklands in East London. The year is 2012. Queen Anne Bowsley rules London and the British Isles. If you feel you possess all of your mental capacities, I can now free you.
Very much so.
Many kindred are prone to a frenzy as he looks at Tommy after being awoken from such a long torpor. I will free you, you must drink, and then we can discuss, yes?
Yes.
All right, then.
Fair
Go on
enough.
with it.
He, going to Alice first, just loosens, undoes the straps on your wrists so you can sort of begin doing the rest yourselves. Then to the doctor, then to Lady Catherine, and then hesitantly and finally to Tommy. As he does that, he again sort of steps back and just waits on one side of the room as you, I assume, start undoing the straps around your waist, your legs.
Quite thirsty.
Oh, yeah, yes. Follow me. And he pauses for a moment, and then he walks out of the one entrance and exit that you see, the middle door. He steps out into a larger room with multiple doors, same whitewashed walls. Along the wall you came from, all of those doors have thick metal bars barricading them from the outside, including yours. On the opposite side of the room are more normal wooden-looking doors, not secured. And in the middle of the room is numerous like plastic bags full of like clothing, it looks like. Well, you guys sort of just stand there. He produces a key and he goes and he unlocks one of the metal doors on the side you came from. Carefully stepping into the room for a moment before he comes out. You can see quite easily carrying one in each hand two very foul-smelling older men. He sort of just sets their unconscious bodies into the room, looks at you guys, and then goes back in the room.
We have to share then. I walk over and go to drink.
A moment later, he starts coming out with two women. Yeah, but if you want to begin drinking, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
I'm
you
thirsty.
immediately start drinking from one of the unconscious men. And yeah, you guys watch as Alice, with no hesitation, goes and starts drinking from one of them. She begins feeding. And as this happens, he pauses, but then continues bringing out two much younger looking, well, younger than the men looking women, probably in their 20s, in sort of smart, casual attire. They're tied up, gagged, but very much awake, their eyes just wide in terror.
I'm going for the other unconscious one.
He, again, has each one of them over his shoulder, and he just sort of sets them down, and you start feeding on the other man. He just nods and goes back in the room. Finally producing two more people. Also in their 20s, young men, wearing, like, overall some sort of labor sort of uniform. Also bound, gagged, and awake. Once he sets them next to the two women who are not being fed from, he just sort of takes a step aside and waits patiently.
Suppose I'd walk up and feed on one of the men.
Okay. Yeah, as goes wide, he can't really resist much. He tries a little bit, but you very easily hold him still and begin to feed from him.
I would activate all.
Okay. Those who are not being actively fed from, yeah. The two women especially, their eyes just go to you. And they seem scared, but right now just more transfixed than anything on you.
I would smile and walk up to them and speak kindly to them. It won't hurt much. I'll be very quick.
They're gagged, but they're trying to say something to you. They seem somewhat at ease for the situation, as much as they can be.
Mm-hmm. I would stroke one of the whichever one I picked and stroke her hair and lean in very gently as I can, hold back the beast and feed.
Okay. Each of you begin feeding. Henry, yours begins to stir, begins to wake up, shifting uncomfortably, groaning in pain. As you know, you've never, which is sort of curious, seeing her gently talk about how it won't hurt and whatnot, you've never known a feeding not to hurt your victim. But that might just be you, as it seems your man is shifting very uncomfortably under the pain of this, as it's not a pleasant experience. But he seems heavily drugged or something, so he still doesn't quite come to full consciousness.
Okay.
You may each slate your hunger by 2, unless you wish to do more.
I'll do more.
So if you do any more, your person likely won't make it because it's more damaging for you to feed. You might have to move to another one if you want to get rid of more hunger, or most likely maim or kill this person.
She already has the other unconscious one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll just stick with this guy.
Are you just feeding more from him then?
Yeah.
Okay. What the rest of you?
I'll switch over to the other guy.
Okay. And he's not been fed from yet, so you can get one more from him unless you want to kill them.
I look up and what was his name? Just remind. What did you say?
Andolino.
Andolino. I look at Andolino. Important.
There's no need to kill them.
I shrug and go to the other one. I'll go to the other girl and sleep the other one.
Okay.
And then hopefully there's enough for
You?
Lady Catherine.
I lick the wound and kind of caress the girl again. Thank you.
She seems just sort of lulling in and out of some sort of semi-state of consciousness. Seems much more at ease now. Are you feeding any more from a different one?
There was a second worker, right?
The second worker or the second woman, both not men.
She just...
They both fed from them,
Okay.
but not enough
I
to
just
where they
did
would
one,
hurt
yeah.
them. They both just did one.
I would move to the next woman and try to put her at ease as well.
Sure.
I assume she's a little...
She's already, I mean, the
the
feeding from
feeding.
Alice seems to not be. It seems to sort of put her in this heightened state as well, as you go and take a little bit from her, keeping a careful track of her pulses. 2 of you are feeding from her, but each of you stopping before anything terrible happens. What's each of your humanities?
Mine's 6.
6.
6.
5.
Okay. A grizzly scene. Once you guys finish feeling much better, you guys can see that the doctor seems to have killed his victim, which is especially to you, Lady Catherine, very uncouth, pretty barbaric, unnecessary. And looking at this dead, possibly homeless man, reminds you, Alice, of when you were in rags on the street, desperately hungry most of the time, like you just were a few moments ago. Though the pain of your hunger you just felt was still more intense than your worst days as a mortal. And there's a tinge of maybe sadness, a little bit of anger, as you don't like seeing, for some reason, there's a familiarity with people like that, and you just saw one tossed aside like nothing, as you have been before, you think. But at the end of the day, they're kind, they're kindred. It's the worst things in the world. With that, Andolino begins gathering them. He just looks at you disapprovingly and picks that person up first. Please find whatever you feel comfortable in from our collection here. Sorry, I'm not big. Make yourselves decent, and then we will move on to our discussion. If you feel so inclined, there are facilities as well. I know you've been in the States for a while. When you're ready, I'll be waiting out here. As he begins pulling some of the people back into the room.
Lady Catherine would go and rifle through some of the clothes, intending to go bathe before she put them on.
So yeah, what do you guys? It's a pretty good collection. Obviously, things are much more modern that would make a lot of sense to you. Though there's some staples that you recognize even as time passed. So what would you guys pick out? What would you be comfortable with?
I'd pick something simple, kind of I don't know, not very like attention grabbing, just kind of very simple, basic clothes that I can find that look familiar enough.
Solid colors, shirt, and
Maybe like a sports jacket and really nice, neat clothes and a hat, some frames.
Yeah, I mean, nothing is quite as clean or taken care of as you would like. I mean, none of these clothes are dirty. But yeah, you find something presentable. You understand a man of society wears a jacket and hat, and you produce both of those things.
Go ahead.
Lady Catherine would look for maybe some very classy dress slacks, and a blouse, something very feminine, but high-end looking.
It would
kind
be
of a
a
look.
little masculine for what you're used to, but
Pants.
still
This isn't
something.
the 40s though.
Pants in the fort. I don't know.
But you're
Could.
aware of it. I mean, it
Mhm.
is something that would probably turn
Yep.
some heads, but you're fine with turning heads.
Mhm.
And there is something about that is sort of drawn to you. You recognize that again.
Mhm.
It's nice,
It's
but it's
pushing the
maybe
boundaries
pushing,
just enough.
pushing some sort of status quo
Mhm.
that you assume is still around.
I'd probably kind of rifle through, see like a lot of jeans with holes in them, and be like, "This is shit. Like, why would you?" I've worn too many clothes with holes in them.
Mm-hmm.
Find like a pair of like loose but nice denim, like kind of like boyfriend jeans kind of things, like just like loose rolled up. A sturdy pair of sneakers and like a black t-shirt. Go.
Okay. Are you showering as well? You said you are.
Mhm.
So those of you want to take the time, I can. Like I said, you just are musky. You can tell you're just sort of mildewy and old, and dust has just settled on you. You're able to wash this away, become presentable, put on these new clothes, make your way back out to where Aldino's waiting. Much better. Follow me. I'll lead you out one of the wooden doors. This opens up to a long corridor where you pass like crates and structures covered in sheets that are placed around. You're not sure what, preserving some things. That if you're curious, you might be able to get a peek at and look under, but otherwise you could just move past as he seems to be.
I'm curious enough to lift.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. Give me an intelligence. It's probably academics. Is there academics or occult better?
My academics is.
Okay, yeah, intelligence, academics.
This is not Elijah anymore. Ooh. Only 2. I'll do 1 willpower.
Okay.
He's curious about stuff like this. 4.
4. Peek up under one of the sheets. Aldino looks back at you, but he doesn't seem to mind at all. So he just slows his pace a little bit. You can see it's like bricks, some sort of building material, but it looks very old. It takes you a second to sort of look at it and figure out what kind of material it is and the style of this architecture, and you quickly recognize it as ancient Rome. Seems quite authentic, actually. Yeah, as you guys see the doctor look for a moment and seem to nod in interest before catching up with the rest of you. He waits at the end of the corridor where you go up some stairs. These stairs lead you to what is just a very large open warehouse. A lot more crates and rows of shelving and whatnot to sort of create a maze in this area. It's quite full. But he sort of navigates through it best he can before going to the opposite end of the warehouse to another set of stairs that go up to where you see there's another floor that seems to be like office rooms. Getting at the end of this floor, the end of this hallway, he pauses, knocks on an office door, and then you hear come in, and he opens the door. You are in a long rectangular office, sort of decorated in brown and drab, reminiscent of, well, your characters wouldn't know, but you know it's like a 1970s feel. There's a book, so it's like in a rectangle. You guys are sort of in the middle of this rectangle, where the skinny ends on the sides. Opposite of you, there's these narrow windows along the upper part, just in a row. Seem to be mostly covered in curtains or blinds, though you can see through the cracks a little bit and see the night sky. To the far right is a bookshelf. To the far left is a desk with a man who immediately stands up from behind the desk. He's of Persian Iranian descent. He has very dark hair and hazel eyes. He's wearing a very clean and pressed brown suit with a blue cravat. Looks very respectable to you. There's another man who's already standing at the desk next to him, and he just watches you very carefully as you enter. He's dressed a lot more casually, just a denim jacket and sort of stringy blonde hair. The man in the brown suit steps around the desk and gestures. He has 4 chairs set up in front of his desk already. And he eagerly gestures for you to sit.
Sit.
Welcome. My name is Darius Tarazi. This is my associate, Mickey. Like you, we are loyal worshippers of Mithras. May I please have your names?
Alice.
Alice, a pleasure.
Dr. Henry.
Doctor. Yeah.
I'm Lady Catherine.
Bows. Lady Catherine.
Tommy.
Tommy. Very well then. He attempts to addresses each of you properly, shaking your hand, bowing to you, and being casual to the two of you.
So do I know what Mithras is in my current state?
I think on your sheets you all have a feeling towards Mithras.
Mm-hmm.
You have something. I don't know where it is for each of you. Should be the same spot.
Fake ambition.
Mine's in my touchstones.
Maybe different spots.
Maybe not. Some of you may be more familiar than others.
I don't yet have anything on my sheet about Mithras.
I don't think I have anything.
Yeah, might not be as familiar to you two then. As to you two.
But so, right then, what's that now? I don't.
What's what?
Mithras. What?
Oh, he's the one who's your reason for being awoken. You are his heralds of the sun. What your official titles. You're quite a big deal. Mithras, how do you say this? You're aware you're kindred. You've been in torpor for some time, and you volunteered for this. The bloodening. You were put to slumber in case Mithras needs you, and well, Mithras needs you.
I don't remember right nothing about being no herald.
It's part of the bloodening. I understand this. Your memory should return to you in time, sooner than later. I'm quite saddened to let you know that the common belief is that Mithras has perished. He its final death during a bombing during the second of the Great Wars. But you, well, us, followers of Mithras, we know the truth, and that he is alive. He was betrayed by one of our own, Valerius. But now it's time for him to return and claim what is his again. It's prophesied, and the awakening of the heralds of the sun is the first step in this prophecy. I myself am more recently in the cult than all of you, but I'm writing a book on Mithras, actually. I'm quite fascinated with his legacy and all that surrounds him and what is to become of him in the future. So, I'm honored to be in your presence, heralds.
You saying that like he's some sort of famous?
In our circle, yes. You talking about this, him saying another war kind of saddened you a little bit. You fought in, you remember a war to end all wars. And apparently there's another one. It hadn't been that long since you won the first one. But the thoughts of this war and this Mithras, the word cult doesn't quite sit right with you, but Mithras feels to you like a general, a very powerful person who is worthy of your respect and a good leader. You sort of have a military respect for this name.
Right then. So, am I supposed to know this lot?
I had the same question.
I'm sure you all knew each other before the process, but like I said, your memories will come back. That's what I'm told. And I hope they do, because I have lots of questions I would love to ask you. You were there. You were very important to him to have undergone this. I can't imagine what knowledge you hold once it finally comes to you. I hope to be there when it does. At this point, you could see that the guy who wore the stringy blonde hair has just been waiting impatiently, and finally just has nodded towards the desk at an envelope. And yes, and he takes the envelope and just holds it out for someone. The doctor takes it, and you open it up, and there is a letter, which I had printed, but I don't know now, so I'm going to read it to you. And he seems just sort of excited to read the letter. Sort of him anticipating what it says too. Doesn't seem like he knows either. The letter says, "My dear and loyal friends, I'm sure you have many questions, but for the time being, I must ask you to be patient. The circumstances around your awakening are clearly unusual, and I apologize for this. Much has changed in the time you've been asleep. I regret to inform you that, most tragically, our Lord and Master Mithras himself was destroyed some years ago. Ungrateful traitors from within his cult betrayed him to his enemies. The cult continues, however, devoted to his memory and his legacy. Your resting place was lost to us, buried as a result of damage caused to London by a great war between the nations of Europe. It is only thought recent circumstances that you have been revealed again, and rightfully returned to us. You wake on the cusp of a great storm that is about to envelop London in its fury. I, and many others so loyal to our cause, have already retired to other domains, far from here to escape its wrath. However, one important task remains, which has been entrusted to you, our only remaining heralds of the sun. Artifacts of spiritual value of the Mithridatic cult are still in London. They are kept by those who were once loyal to us, but who have now strayed from the path. Whether they were involved in the conspiracy to murder our Lord is unknown, but they are no longer to be trusted. And they're listed. A clay seal, once used by our Lord to mark his official documents, left in the possession of Lady Anne Bowsley. a silver ring inset with a ruby, believed to be in the possession of the Tremere Sri Sansa. A bronze dagger of Egyptian style, gifted to the Nosferatu Richard de Worde. And a Phrygian cap, once worn by our Lord in his original Mithraeum, since claimed by Gwenllian Finch Arwen. We humbly beseech you to seek these items out and retrieve them before the storm descends. Also take with you the goblet that was used to wake you. Once you've completed your task, call the number, and there's a number listed, and we will send a team to extract you from London and guide you to a safe haven. May good fortune and the blessings of our Lord and Master go with you. It's signed Thomas, Pater of the Sun, Guardian of the Temple.
Very interesting. I guess shed some light, but more questions.
Do you read that aloud?
Yeah.
You read yourself. Okay. Yeah, with that you can see Shirazi just listening very intently with great interest. And the others sort of, their brows furrow a little bit, but they sort of nod in understanding.
All right.
Can I see that goblet?
Yeah, Dari, the original man, gingerly hands it to you.
Can I, like, inspect it?
Sure. Give me an intelligence plus occult.
Love it. I'll do a will. 3.
3. You recognize these are symbols of Mithras. There's a man cutting the throat of a bull. You remember this is quite old sacrificial thing, something they might not have done as much recently, but sort of one of the staples of the cult. There's other symbols as well. Blood sorcery symbols you vaguely recognize. And the cup feels familiar in your hand. Something you might have held before, something similar.
Anything interesting on that cup?
I think I remember it a little bit. Like a feeling.
And you do. You see yourself. You're holding this cup up, and you look out, and instead of the office, there are just dozens of acolytes. Right next to you, towering over you, is Mithras himself, as you're standing between a god and his followers. Their worship is intoxicating. You're dressed in all white. You're leading some very important ritual and exaltation. He refers to you as handmaiden. And when he says this, you just feel this elation, this sense of importance, this divinity. And you can feel him as a conduit almost of this power that's flowing through you. And his presence is very comforting. You know, you'll never be alone. You'll never know fear. As long as your Lord watches over all your works in his name. You come down from that for a moment, back to this drab office, holding this gauntlet, and almost a little irked that this nobody was even holding it in the first place. But now you have him. As you should.
I think it was mine.
Peculiar.
Right then, how about
Can I grab the backpack?
Sure. Charles says, "Excuse me, Mom. It was yours? What do you mean?" He goes through one of his drawers and pulls out a notebook that he prints out.
I remember it. It was
Please spare no details.
long time ago. Mithras and their worshippers call me Handmaiden. Does that mean anything to you?
Handmaiden. I'm not sure if that's an official title. I'll have to look into that. I eagerly writes this down. This the original man. Adelino says there's other things to that must be done. Seems you now know why you're awoken, and it was simply our job to wake you up. Things will be different than what you remember, obviously. Shirazi? Yes. He goes in another drawer and hands you a very plain business card. This old card stock with just a phone number written on it. Yes, you should call that number. Introduce yourselves to the court. Queen Anne will be hosting Elysium tomorrow in central London. If you make your importance known, you should receive an invitation. Most kindred in the city will be there, and you'll need to meet some of the kindred if you're to track the ones down who have what you need.
I would take the card.
Okay. And this is a telephone. No wires or anything anymore. It's just a plain. It's not like a smartphone by any means. The numbers you'll recognize as no longer spinning and whatnot. Yes, there's a number in here already for Jimmy. Cab driver. He'll get you anywhere you need to go. He's very knowledgeable. He's aware of what we are. Just don't bother with too many questions. He'll know what to take you for a place to rest and whatnot. I assume you have much to do, but if you have time, and if any of you have fascinating memories, I would love to perhaps discuss them with you.
I better remember my name, mate. I think there's more important things than a book right now. Shall we call this number?
Well, I mean, in due time, but this handmaiden business can be quite important. All of you give me a wits awareness.
Two.
One.
3. Lady Catherine and Tommy. This is going on. They're discussing that with him. Glance around and you can see some movement outside the blinds, through the blinds on the sort of high windows. There's something sort of just like hovering around out there. Metal. It's not making a lot of sense to you. Definitely not a bird. It's a machine. Both of you notice this.
Point at it and I say, "What the fuck's that?"
He looks up. What is... And at this point, the other two look, and their eyes get wide for a moment. You need to go. And then Mickey and Adelino immediately exit the room. Straussy looks. He immediately starts he gets a suitcase out, he opens it, and he starts putting things in his suitcase. There really is much more we should discuss. I think people are here, I'm not sure why or how, to cause harm. You should find a way. This is an exit down where you were. The showers, that should get you out. Otherwise the roof, I'm not sure. I'll be fine. But please make sure you're safe. And he just starts going through papers and opening his drawers, and he's taking time to put things in his briefcase right now.
I'm heading out. We had to go back to the room with all the curtain or all the sheets and stuff, right? Where I saw
so you're on like an upper level. And then the main warehouse has all the shelves and sheets and artifacts and stuff. And then there's the basement, which also had some of those. That's the one you looked under,
Okay.
but less of them. And the basement has like the shower facilities and those rooms with like the metal locks and stuff.
Okay.
Before I leave the main area following them, I want to ask, oh, we got any weapons?
I'm afraid I don't know.
Kind of hurry down.
Okay, where are you guys going?
So it's downstairs by the showers, right?
That's what
The
he said.
exit.
And down there.
Let's move on then.
Okay, you guys head out. You can see a couple doors down. The door's open, and that's where you can hear Mickey and Adelino just sort of talking to themselves. Just they seem worried. I'm not sure what's going on in there.
Do you heighten senses to hear them?
Yeah, you heighten senses. Yeah, you listen. Fuck. And you hear Adelino say, I'll go up front. It looks like they're coming up from the riverbank as well. You head that way. Shit. The others, and yeah, it looks like they're heading downstairs. Good.
So nice to overhear something comforting.
Alright, let's avoid the riverbank apparently too. Alright, when we head back to the underneath the sheets, I'm gonna grab some of that stone if I can.
Okay.
If it's loose or anything, I'm gonna grab.
Okay, so you guys start heading down the corridor to get to the stairs lead to the main warehouse. It's Adelino and Mickey seem to be checking. Your characters will know, but seem to be checking security monitors. For Shirazi's gathering his papers. Okay. You get to the end of the corridor. You open up, you start heading down. It's sort of just an open stairway, like along one of the walls. And you guys start heading down. And when you're almost to the bottom of the stairs, one of these large doors sort of is pulled open from the warehouse. And you hear a police freeze! And you see uniformed men. We've all seen police officers before. I mean, it's not the same uniform, but there's something militaristic and recognizable about this.
Old Billy Clubs, eh?
As you see two officers come in, and it says police on their jackets. They're both holding weapons. Not a model you recognize, but some sort of rifle, long. They're on the opposite side, though. There's sort of the whole warehouse between you and them. Lots of things between you and them, but for right now, you're sort of exposed on the stairs. What would you like to do?
How far away are
Running
they?
down the stairs.
They're on the opposite end of the warehouse. So
Pretty far.
you have a lot of cover between you and them, but they'll if you just bolt for it, they'll probably get a shot before you are in full cover. Between you and them, sort of towards the middle, is the stairway heading down to the basement where you're trying to go.
Anyone good at talking?
I would kind of throw
Fucking
my
hate
hands
the
up and just
police.
kind of slowly walk towards them.
We should make a song about that.
Okay, yeah. You put your hand up.
Straight out of the underground.
They, that's it, nice and easy. And, yeah, one's pointing at you, the other one. The rest of you now. One of them leans in. 4 of them. And then there's a little bit of chatter. And,
Are we in view?
I see Knowles. Yeah, you're at the bottom, and like I said, the stairway's exposed, sort of just like against the side of the wall.
So we're coming down to the warehouse floor.
Yeah,
Or
And we
maybe
can't get
else,
to the
yes.
basement yet.
yeah. You're coming on the warehouse floor. They came into the warehouse from the opposite side.
Okay.
They have 2 of them with guns pointed. You see Tommy put his hands up
I put my
and
hands
starts
up.
walking towards them.
Hoping someone
Fuck it.
has something.
Anyone else?
I want to activate. I can use awe on multiple, right?
Yeah.
I want to activate awe.
Okay. You activate all. Their attention is locked on you right now.
And I, like, flip my hair to the side and raise my hands.
That's enough. Just stay where you are.
Boys, you wouldn't really want to do this, would you? Why are you here?
No talking, Noel.
You're speaking to a lady.
And the other one says, you think that one's really a Noel? I don't want to take any chances. Give me a charisma persuasion.
Do we know
Or
the term?
manipulation. Give me manipulation persuasion.
And I get an addition when I roll persuasion rolls because of awe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, add your presence rating.
Okay. All of them? Oh, cool.
Would we know the term, Noel?
persuasion
You've not
No.
heard this
and
before.
manipulation. That's a lot of dice. Dice don't failing now. 5 successes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, step away from the other ones then. They start moving in. They're trying to keep. It's hard to keep an eye on you if you move. Like once you're all on the floor, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. So they're trying to sort of go around. They're kind of having to shout to give you your directions. But yeah, they still have their weapons drawn, but they're moving in. Seem a little less hostile. You all right? What's going on?
How close have they gotten to us?
Do you want to wait until they get close?
Yeah, I mean, I'm basically waiting for
Okay.
when I can get
I
close
mean,
enough to
if you wait, yeah, they'll begin approaching. They'll start moving through, keeping the barrels trained on you as they get close.
What's the meaning of this? Why are you here?
Some dangerous people here.
Dangerous. This
Yes,
ragamuffin
it's no joking
crew.
matter, Mom. I'm sorry. You need to leave. Come with us.
All right.
We'll get you out of here safely.
If I step away from them, does like their vision like shift to watch me? Is that how it all works? Okay, so I would kind of sidestep a little bit because they told me to walk away from them and watch like their vision.
Yeah, on you.
Distract.
And now they're sort of so everyone else seems calm. You don't seem scared of them. They seem to assume everything's okay. I'm like, all right, come with us quickly. Where are the others?
What others are
Which
you talking
others?
about?
You're the only ones here?
Yes, we were here to look at some artifacts.
These might be the ones then.
Do we look dangerous?
Yeah, he looks at Tommy. Yeah, at this point, let's just wait here. Says, yeah, inside 4. We need the rest right now. We'll just wait here. We'll figure this out. Promise. If nothing's going on, you'll be fine.
And do I have a? They're not looking at us.
I mean, you're in the general. They definitely seem to be a little more focused. You're not like blind to them by any means, but their attention is certainly on Lady Catherine.
Do you have something?
You might be able to try to do something sneakily. That'll be a roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's gonna be rough.
What are you doing? Why are you looking at your arm?
Yeah, you ready to throw some bows, dude?
No, I'm trying to see if I can get a mouthful of poison blood like that, but I don't think you
You-
can.
Bite your tongue.
Could you bite your tongue? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do that.
I do
That's
all the
fun.
time on accident.
So I'm gonna do blood sorcery.
Okay.
Mouthful of poison
What's the
blood.
roll?
That one is a
the rouse
rouse
check.
check. I'm good. And then it is
Is this
Scorpion touch. Yep. So
So it's strength plus blood sorcery.
when I do it,
I know this isn't a ritual. This is just okay. So yeah, you do get hungrier.
No.
Oh, you don't. Okay. You rouse the blood. You bite your tongue and start collecting a mouthful of your own blood, swishing it around, coating it with some sort of supernatural something. What are the rest of you doing?
I was going to attempt entrancement on like
I mean,
the
it's okay.
leader.
You wouldn't really notice
Yeah,
this happening.
okay. On the leader, like
Sure.
whoever's seems to be running the operation.
Yeah.
I believe that's a rouse.
Yes, it is one round.
All right, go for it.
I succeed.
It's charisma, presence versus composure, wits.
Yeah. So it automatically works on most mortals, but these are here to hunt kindred. So we'll make this an actual roll, given. But
And I get a addition to my charisma roll.
add your
3.
add your presence to this. Oh no, what is this?
Just-
Presence plus.
Charisma
Is
plus
this dominate or
presence.
presence?
Charisma plus presence.
There
And
we go.
all presence-based rolls I add a die.
Right. Yeah.
or-
Okay, just do charisma plus presence. I will
Okay.
give them a negative since they are currently in all of you
in
as
all.
well.
Ooh, I'm gonna roll willpower there. Four successes.
What do you say?
It's like one. It's like a
Which one are you doing?
entrancement. It's
Now
just
he's
a
like in love with
sentence.
you.
Yeah.
No, you can do whatever. It lasts a certain amount of hours.
Okay.
1 hour, I think.
Yeah,
And
I'm saying like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
You have
It's
them.
an hour, and then every hour
Um,
for everyone you win by.
Okay.
So if they roll 5, they roll 7. That's 3
Uh,
hours.
She's like one scene.
I didn't think about it before I did this.
Cool shit.
We're really just having a nice evening. Please don't spoil it.
I'm sorry, Mom. We got word that there's some bad things going on here. We need to check them out. Fuck. I got the wrong place. That looks like. I mean, I don't see anything going on here. My apologies. Let's just leave. We have to make sure we'll look around. But I do apologize.
All is forgiven. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And yeah, if you want to follow them, they start leading back towards the way they came in.
Oh, are we like close to them now?
Yeah. So
Oh.
if you want to do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna just blast one of the dudes as soon as he like gets close to me.
Sure. So yeah, you could wait. So they turn their back and their weapons are down. They don't seem
Yeah,
on edge anymore, and they're yeah.
I just kind of walk up to one, just like go straight for the throat, and just tear it.
Yeah, give me a.
Fucking hell, Tommy.
Are you gonna rouse? Are you using your?
Yeah, let's do that. Good.
Okay, you don't get hungrier.
I'm so glad I didn't waste this beautiful Listerine.
It's the-
Bunch of Jordans. A bunch of Jordans around here. Except for they actually do violent things.
That's a messy crit with like a.
Well, let's see if we
fuckload
can roll
of
for it, and then we'll
successes.
see if we're Jordan or not.
Looks like they got the right warehouse.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
I was ready for you
Yeah,
to
you
play,
come
man.
up behind him, and you
I
go
was
to
on
like
your
knock
team.
him out, and you just wrench it. You haven't let the beast do its thing in a while, and you just turn this guy's head completely around, and it's sickening. And the guy hears, and he just turns, and yeah, he just sees the blood start just pouring from the ring around his neck now as you've completely rended it. At this point, there's a couple gunshots. Your gunshots a ways away, but from towards what you assume is the front of the warehouse. Some sort of fight has broken out now. At this point, yeah, he just sort of looks. He's still. There's a moment of him just being confused. I'm assuming it's the one you entrance. I would assume you go after the one who wasn't entranced.
Yeah, I would just.
Yeah, he just looks, but he's definitely like, you have a second before he shoots one of you.
When
I'd go straight. I mean, to the next one.
Finish your job, Tommy.
when he walks up to the first guy, would I be able to also walk up
Sure.
to the second guy? And I'm gonna go ahead and when he turns around, just spit in his face.
All right, give me a strength plus blood source.
It's actually for spitting. The spitting roll was different, but I don't know why you wouldn't do blood sorcery.
It's the attack roll
Show
and
us
dex
the
plus
last.
athletics.
Okay,
Okay, so yeah. Which could be dodge like a range attack. Okay.
I'm gonna do a blood search. I'm not hungrier.
Okay.
That is a messy crit.
It is, and I love it.
So 4 successes on a messy crit.
Okay. Okay, so that's you hitting. Now it's strength plus blood sorcery versus a stamina cold.
Yep.
Aggravated. Okay, so yeah, give me that. I will say, since you got a messy crit on the actual attack itself, go ahead and add 2 die.
Sweet Jesus. I'm gonna use a will on that damage.
Okay.
Was that a beast before?
Yeah. No, it was a beast.
It was?
Yeah.
But it's damage. I don't know how that affects it. It's 2
total?
2 total with a beast. But I don't know how that affects damage.
So yeah, he looks for a second. And you like walk up to him and he goes, "Whoa!" And he opens his mouth and you spit into his mouth. And it's disgusting. You have to like cover your mouth for a second. Just
I imagine I am like shrieking, still trying to play the part, and then I see her do that, and it becomes very real.
Yeah, absolutely. This is vulgar and terrible. And it goes, and he just like gags and spits some of it, and just sort of holding his face, yelling. Seems to have freaked him out more than anything, probably hurting him as well. But yeah, he's definitely he doesn't know he did not expect one to spit in his mouth.
Did his gun fall when he went to it for his mouth?
No, he still has his gun, but it's not like trained on you now. He like took a hand off of it. He's just holding it now instead of aiming it.
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah. Already was.
I'd kill the guy.
Okay, then well, what do you want to do?
I would just kind of do the same thing, just grab a hold of him, or maybe like grab his head and like shut his mouth, and then just start wrenching back to like snap his neck.
Yeah, you just hold. He's trying to spit out this weird blood in his mouth. You hold it, shut this, just like a reverse Pez dispenser. Just bring it back. I guess it's a regular Pez.
Yeah, it's
dispenser.
a regular Pez dispenser.
They had those in the 40s.
I pick up his gun.
Yeah, I mean it's a rifle. You would understand how to use it.
Police up the ammo.
Yeah, if you do that, collect a couple magazines. For the rest of you doing.
Would we know about the masquerade? Would that be in our memory?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
The masquerade. Something you
Tommy, want to clean that up?
What I did.
Right then, they're here to hunt
I
vampires.
keep the masquerade.
They already
up.
know. Masquerade's already down.
But it's also weird because you've probably never had humans. I mean, there's the Inquisition back in the day, but humans, especially like police, going after them is very unheard of.
Quite peculiar. All right, let's go.
Okay. You guys are. Well, there's the open door now where they came from, or you could still head to the basement. Sounds like fighting is broken out towards the opposite side.
Yeah, let's go to the basement.
Downstairs, yeah?
Right.
Okay. You guys head down to the basement.
Head towards the showers and look for the exit.
Okay. So yeah, you run down there. You get into the showers where you were. You give me a wits investigation. Anyone can do this.
3 successes.
2 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
1.
The doctor and Alice both kind of come to the same time. Looking around, people are messing with the walls and stuff. You both assume this sort of somewhere underground exit probably. You start lifting at some of these drains, and one of the shower drains, sort of a large grate that easily comes off, and you could see that you could probably lower yourself down, and it seems to head off in some underground tunnel.
Well done. All right. Let's go.
Retch a little bit. I'm sure there's a bit of a stench.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the showers. You lower yourself down. It's still, you guys just recently used the shower, so it's wet in here. Some of the mildew and stuff is washed in. Not your ideal escape, but you're in it. You guys hunch down. What order are you in?
I'll take the front.
Okay. Time in the front, gun ready.
I'll follow behind.
Follow her.
Doctor
at the end.
taking up the rear.
The
So
two
yeah,
most reluctant to be dirty. And then
you guys start
They cut through the cobwebs.
heading through, and it doesn't go super long. You probably, before you reach a, like I said, this is an actual tunnel. This isn't like a sewer or anything, like an escape tunnel built underneath this thing. It's more clean once you get away from the actual shower drain part. Yeah, and you open it up. Once you get to the end, it's just a a metal door. You have to turn a wheel.
Can we hear anything?
Yeah, once you open, you can hear the sound of rushing water. You can hear gunshots, more distant than they were before. There's another grate in front of you. And you can see through the grate, you can see a river going past. You seem to be on like a river bank. This seems to be one of the drains that leads out to it, although this is a fake one.
Keep moving.
You'll probably have to break your way out of. So if you want to give me a strength athletics,
This
you
is
can
still the
add
same
your,
scene, right?
Yeah, you can add your.
I think that'll be the same.
You're so strong.
Look at this.
3 successes.
Love that.
Okay, yeah. Grabs and you just do a sturdy push, and you break the handle of this grate and swing it open. And yeah, you're on the riverbank. You can see kind of up and towards the side, at the top of the riverbank, you can see another group, 5 or 6 officers waiting. You can see that's where the warehouse is too. You guys came down and came out. The warehouse is above and behind you a little bit. You can also see a police boat on the river. It right now is sort of swaying in the water. Its spotlight shown on the warehouse. There only seems to be 2 people, one person on the spotlight, one person actually operating the vehicle. The rest, it's at the edge. It seems like the rest are those people who got off and are now waiting at the top, weapons ready. There's that. Looking around, you also see another grate a little ways down. This is probably an actual sewer grate. If you want to get into the sewers, make your escape that way. What would you like to do?
We already made it through sewer, or a shower. Might as well go through a sewer.
The boat, is it docked? Or is it like kind of pulled up to the bank? Or is it like in the middle of the river?
It's like pull up to the bank.
Okay.
Seems like it dropped off that group of people.
And the group that they dropped off is like further away. Like
Yeah,
not an eye shot?
they're a little. So there's the river. They're up the riverbank at the top, heading towards the warehouse.
Or we could take that boat.
Can anyone drop a boat? I've never
Sorry.
seen it's like a modern boat, right?
Yeah, the basic. I mean, it's like a car. The basics are close enough. You might be able to figure it out. It's up to you if you think you're confident enough. It would be if any of you have any technology and wits, that would come into play.
I have wits, but no technology.
I got 3 wits and 1 technology.
I say we hit the sewers. It seems the least conspicuous, yeah?
Martin, head over to the sewers.
It's gross, I know, but let's be safe about it.
Not appealing to you, but it seems it's 3 against 1.
All right.
All right.
Just
Guys.
took a shower though.
We'll find another shower.
Keep your heads down. You move away from the warehouse a little bit towards the next sewer entrance you see, also along the riverbank. Yeah, head in there. Luckily, with the cast going on. Who has?
The phone?
We had heightened senses. Do you still have that on?
Yeah, I would still have it
Yeah,
activated.
nothing too loud. So you can hear radio chatter from the boat. Yeah, 2 down. They're definitely in here. 2 at the gate subdued. Still in the search for the 4 others.
All right. They are on the look for us.
But yeah, eventually you break the grate open again. You lead into a sewer proper. And you thought it was gross before. You're just hit with a ungodly stench.
You might want to turn off heightened senses.
Yeah.
Lower yourself into this muck.
God.
You have to be hunched down. It's not very large at first. And yeah, you guys make your way through. Tommy, for a moment, with a distant gunfire, you just in your knees in muck. You're, for a moment, in the trench, just pushing through just the mud and the slop of just a rainy French trench that you've been in for days. Pushing through, gunfire in the distance, just almost just doing what you have to do. Your body takes over, your mind shuts down as it does in these things. Almost just waiting for it to end. Not because it's some horror, just because it's just an unpleasantry. You just want to be done with this. And you just kicked in. You guys see him, hunched down, he tucks the gun in. He starts just moving forward through the tunnels for a little bit before eventually
As a soldier.
starting to come out of it. And that's where we'll take our first break. Coming back for more London antics in a bit. Bye.
Hi.
Or okay, we are back. Coterie, in the sewers, stinky, yucky, but you're safe.
Uh-oh.
Tommy has come out of his sort of war flashback. So you guys have put some decent distance, you believe, between you and the warehouse.
Let's get out of these sewers as soon as we can. I would not like to stay in here much longer. Can you find us way up?
You can hear, you're still for a second sort of recoup, and you can hear something sloshing through the sludge, approaching quite rapidly from behind.
Can you sense the unseen?
I would like to also.
You're in the back. Yes?
Yeah.
So you turn, doing sense
Does that
the
cancel my
unseen.
heightened senses, though?
You said you turned it off.
Because
anyway.
of the
Yeah, 'cause
smells,
it's
too.
not-
Oh, yeah. That's right. Ugh. Good.
I mean, you can choose one sense, though. You could not smell and keep your other ones. But,
Yeah, because the heightened senses, I can see pitch black. That's what I said in the book.
So yeah, you turn, look, don't see anything, but looking beyond, you can see Shirazi, the man with a brown suit and the briefcase, very quickly just catching up to you guys, briefcase tucked in. He slows down a little bit as he gets close. He was moving supernaturally quick and invisibly, well, until you did your thing.
Good to see you could have made it.
Yes. You're all right then?
Well, currently, I guess, I'm stuck in a sewer.
Right, I watched you go in, made sure no one
Alright.
followed you, and, well, figured it was my best way out too. We're all good then. Sorry about that. I have, honestly, I wish I had an explanation, but I don't. I am not sure how they found out about any of that. Came quite prepared.
Who is they and what's a knoll?
Knoll, I'm not sure. They being the police. I've heard of this activity about them searching for us. We just need to be careful. And we have been careful, so I don't know. But we're fine. What's important is you are fine. You have the goblet? Okay.
Right, but who are they?
I mean, they're
Is the masquerade no longer a thing?
No, it's very important. More important now than maybe ever. There's been a lot of technological advancements in the time you've been gone that makes it easier for them to find us. They can listen when we talk on our phones. They have, with cameras, they have cameras that are the thing you saw outside the window is a camera essentially, a drone. They have flying machines that can see us, especially here in London. Every street corner they're watching. So you have to be very careful about the masquerade here. It's of utmost importance. So just yet another reason why if Mithras was in charge again, things would not be in the state they were in. That's, I can guarantee.
Well, weren't we just given one of these phones that they can track us with?
Just be careful what you say. Don't talk about things explicitly to do with us, kindred. Use it to call Jimmy, get rides places. You can use it to introduce yourselves before you head to court. let's get you somewhere to be cleaned up again.
Yes, very much so.
Then I can let you do your thing, and perhaps if you have some time, answer some questions.
Best of our ability, still getting that memory back.
Um,
Are we close to being out of here?
I'm not sure. I've never actually been to Suez.
Makes two of us.
We should head up soon, then I can get my bearings and take us where we need to be.
Very well.
Right.
You can only be careful with that too. I mean, the kindred are not walking around with the weapons. It's quite alarming. Abnormal.
It's normal for humans to be walking around with weapons.
No, they came with a purpose. Right, so let's get to it then. Yeah. Head in, and if you so choose, you can head up the first ladder you find, heading to street level.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're going first again. Are you doing anything, or are you just opening up and checking, looking around?
I'll set the gun down before I go up, but yeah, I'll just kind of poke my head up and look
Okay.
at what's going on.
Yeah, you slide at the manhole cover a little bit and keep your head under it, looking around. I mean, you're in the city, you're in London. Looks very different than you remember. The streets are empty. I assume it's pretty late at night. You're in some sort of industrial district, probably still not too far from like the dockyards.
Empty though? No.
For now.
Alright, yeah, kind of go back down. It's clear up there.
All right, let's go.
Move out.
Let me get my bearings. All right, this way.
Take my gun back. It's fairly clear.
Yeah, and takes a suitcase and sews it tucked and is doing a brisk walk down the street. Definitely staying off like slinking in alleyways when you can, trying to stay out of sight in case every once in a while a car will drive down the road and whatnot. When that happens, he makes sure to get you all out of sight. More than once, it is a police vehicle that heads down the road. Eventually, you get to outside the dockyards a little bit, to somewhat the nicest area, but you approach a hotel called the Moon Palace. Small, sort of skinny building. Not a skyscraper by any means, just maybe 3 stories. Probably locally owned, not a chain or anything like that. He goes, all right, this will do. You smell awful. That's all right. We'll walk in, and inside it's very homely. There's definitely more of a cozy, personal feel, not like a chain hotel by any means. Late enough to where you don't see anyone at the little front desk area, but there's a little bell. Right, so we'll get you a room for the night. He'll reach in his open up his briefcase, take out a roll of notes, bills. This is £1,000. I should handle anything you need handled. Gives it to you. Yeah. You have a phone. You have a phone number. You have that. That should be it. I have much to do. Should rings the bell a couple times. Yes. Anyway, my advice: call the number. Figure out where Elysium is. You should make sure you are allowed an invitation there. And start tracking down those names, and collecting these items.
Elysium's tomorrow night.
I believe so.
And you don't know any of these lads on that letter?
Sri Sansa, I don't know personally, but I believe he holds domain in West London. There's a chantry at Ada's Hotel. I'll probably know more there. The Tremere. Sri is a Tremere. Oh, Richard de Ward. I know by reputation only. From what I understand in my notes, he was once a close confidant of Mithras himself. He's a Nosferatu. Members of the Nosferatu should be at the Queen Anne's Elysium. Typically, stay underground in the tube system. And then Gwenllian, I know her pretty well, though I must confess I haven't seen her in a while. But perhaps I can put you in contact.
Does it really seem necessary to go trifling through parties? We could just go with them.
If we are as important as they say we are, then having contacts might be our best route to start out with.
It's important to know now. Mithras was the regent when you were here. Ruled undisputed. As you're familiar with, the Camarilla control most cities, and they now control this one in his absence. So there's some protocol that are useful to follow. One of you remember the blood laws Mithras had. We have traditions, which are similar, but one of them is to you should make yourself formally known in a new city. So perhaps it's best. And you are of import. I would think you can use that too. And there's others around who I'm sure will know you from that time. I haven't been in the city very long. Yes?
Mithras is Camarilla. Would we know that?
No. He was himself. He was strong enough where he didn't have to. So he was around before the Camarilla came
Gotcha.
around and just decided he didn't need to join anyone.
Gotcha.
All right. Eventually, see a woman rub some sleep for her eyes and sort of shuffle in behind the desk. Oh, my lord! Covers her nose. Welcome to Moon Palace.
It's been a rough night.
Right.
Looking for rooms?
Oh no. Okay, that's fine. One for all of yous.
2. Well, 4?
2. 4 rooms to clean
4.
up. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Got any money?
I take out several bills, not showing the roll.
At this point, Shirazi will, he'll take that. This should do for the week. She goes, oh, all right, great. All right, it'll be at the top. 1 second. And he goes, I'll leave you to it then. Best of luck. But if you'll be staying here, perhaps I'll swing by and can discuss more if your memory comes back.
Sure, and bring new clothes maybe.
Will there be shops open tomorrow evening?
If you rise early enough, sure. Call Jimmy. He'll take you around.
I might go there if you don't mind.
All right, he takes his leave. She goes and she takes a while. Part of it sleepily, part of it she just doesn't seem that competent. As she goes and she gets like actual keys, not like, which makes sense.
I
You
was
probably
ready to
wouldn't.
roleplay that. I was just waiting.
We've
My
got
turn to
breakfast
shine.
in quite soon. If you're up for it.
I just ate.
We'll be around in a couple of days to collect your towels and what. Actually, I'll be around right away. I'm assuming you all want to shower. What happened to you?
Misadventures of the foulest kind.
Too many drinks at a pub.
Pub. Hey, all right. I'll get this one. I do. All right. Yeah, this way. And she'll
For a
hand
second,
it.
I thought they
Each
have
of you
pubs no more.
keyed, open. Alice, yours sticks a little. Pay attention, love. You got to really jiggle this one. You know what? It's the wrong key. 1 second. She goes back downstairs and comes back up and eventually gets the key and shows you around. All right, if you need anything, I miss malts.
Miss Maltz.
2 T's.
Like the apple juice.
What?
I didn't say that.
Thank you, Miss Motts. We will see you shortly in much better state.
All right, take care, loves. She leaves you to it. Maybe have an hour or two before sunrise.
We should call.
Should call now.
Yes.
Better late than tomorrow.
Yes.
Later.
You got
Better
the
late than
phone.
tomorrow. That old saying.
You know what they're always saying?
You got the phone, you got the number.
All right. Okay. I would dial the number.
How does she know to use that thing?
He showed us how to use it.
It's buttons. Couldn't you figure it out?
You know, I'm a doctor, not a technician.
Real dumb fucking doctor then.
You have technology.
I've won.
More than me.
Takes you 2 days to figure it out.
We failed.
Did we miss that Elysium?
You burn in the sun as you're trying to figure out.
You're calling the number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, I don't like that either.
Rings 3 times. Then you hear an answer on the other line. Hello.
Were we given a name that we were supposed to speak to? I didn't write that one down.
She hangs up.
No, don't.
I thought it was Queen Anne.
Queen Anne.
Queen Anne is the
We're
one
meeting
In
with.
in
charge.
charge of the city.
Okay, so I don't think you have a name.
Just call. We told to call that number to help set up. Introduce yourself to the court.
Hello, I am Lady Catherine Montague.
I'm sorry, Lady Catherine Montague.
Yes.
I took a nap.
It's Scarlet Churchill.
Scarlet, I have been asleep for a very long time, and my memory is not what it should be. I don't remember much at all. All I know is that I should...
You're right, love. It's been, Jesus, what has it been? 4 or 5 decades?
I believe more.
How did you get this number? What is I could do for you? Anything. You know that.
We were awoken from our slumber to be reintroduced at Elysium.
Oh. Okay. You and hang on. Finishing my name.
Say my name.
All right, that's good. You're all right then.
As well as one can be with no memory in what seems to be a foreign land now.
That's good. So you and Angelique will be joining us?
No.
She says that name, and you immediately pause. This woman's voice, there's something slightly annoying about it. Not the voice itself, but it reminds you of something. You remember you had a bit of a rivalry with her. Over a toreador, a designer, Astrid Trevelli. You were in some sort of fashion business, as was Lady Scarlet Churchill. Things got bad between you, but you remember they did end amicable, but they only ended that way because she seemed to get the best of that. Remember, she secured a more lucrative partnership with this designer than you were able to. But that name, Angelique, you all see Catherine just stare off in the distance for a moment. Her lip begins to tremble. And her asking about this person. You don't know where she is, and suddenly that terrifies you. And you aren't standing in this room. You're standing in a pile of rubble, digging furiously. You can't believe she's gone. You know you were meant to have years together, centuries even, an eternity if you dared. And now it's been hours of digging, the beast powering your limbs to throw aside stone after stone after stone in a seemingly ceaseless rubble. To hell with the masquerade, you have to find Angelique. And suddenly there she is, your lovely Angelique. Her topaz eyes just open, staring into oblivion. Her pale corpse covered in dirt and debris from the filthy basement that she's buried in, that you've just unearthed her from. Her body is unnaturally broken and twisted. Part of you knows she's still alive, though, somehow. So you will have the eternity you promised one another, but at what cost? Suddenly, the smell of this rubble, your hands ache from digging, but you're back. You're on the phone. You're, hello? Catherine?
No, Angelique, this night. I have a few other friends that have come back into this world with me.
I'm most interested to meet them and see you again. If you wouldn't mind giving me the names, I'll make sure you're on the list for tomorrow evening.
Yes, Tommy, and, Alice.
Tommy, do you mind giving me the clans?
Nosferatu, Tommy. Alice, what were you again, dear?
Tremere.
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 Yes.
All right.
And Doc.
Henry.
What was your clan?
Hakata.
What?
Hakuna Hakata.
That
Hakata?
movie didn't come out yet.
Doc Henry is Hakata. It should be a
Most curious
fascinating
company.
evening, I believe. One to talk about for decades. And those are always the best parties.
You speak the truth as always. Lady Catherine, I very much look forward to your company once again, and I promise you that these will not disappoint. Is there any other questions you have for me?
I would assume the attire is quite formal.
Yes, though many dress in a way that represents themselves, we should say. Though those of us with any sort of air about ourselves will be quite formal, yes. It will be at the Shard. There is a special entrance in the reception area. It's marked with the symbol of the Camarilla. Oh, and make sure to bring a gift for the hostess, will you?
Do you have suggestions? Again, 72 years.
I mean, there's the usual, but if you want something with a bit of a personal touch, show that you are. Ooh, you know what will make a splash? Bring us an officer of the law, you know.
Yes, I've been acquainted with one recently.
Oh, well, you're all about this, I'm sure. They've been quite troublesome recently.
Yes, I have many questions about that. I hope you'll be able to answer them.
I hope so too. And I do look forward to seeing you.
You too, dear.
She hangs up.
You okay?
Yes. The Charlotte tomorrow night. Your names are on the list. We are to bring a gift. It has been suggested an officer.
Like a cop.
Yes, like a cop.
Can you sweet talk him again?
I could probably do that, yes. Could you spit in their mouth again?
Well, if he comes up and snaps his neck like that, yeah, I'll spit in his mouth again.
Don't think they
I
want
think
him
it would
dead.
take that much to make you do that, but... Alright, I'm going to shower and collect myself.
Same.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know what room we were speaking in. If they were in my room, I would show them out.
Usher them away.
We just
I'm
turn the
out.
TV on.
It's in color. We haven't seen a regular TV before.
What's this? Unmarked real life.
open the mini fridge.
Where's this mini?
Okay. Anything else you guys are doing in your remaining minutes?
Minutes? No, man. Shower and go to sleep.
Yeah, you have time to clean up and then
Is there a safe in the room?
a safe.
No. Okay. Then
Buttons.
Now it's pretty. They're more similar to bedrooms and hotel rooms. Like I said, this is very personal touch, but very heavy curtains, and you can easily make sure to sunproof this place.
That was my next question. Moth ring curtains.
So like a do not disturb and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those little like yarn things you made to put on the.
Pop.
Set that up.
Okay, set that up. You all rest for the day. Much shorter rest than your previous one. The next evening, get a rouse check from everyone.
I'm good.
Hunger.
Oh, I'm hungry. Yeah.
Okay. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go knock on her door.
I
Yeah,
would
I
have.
would report there.
Yeah, I would have washed. I would have washed my clothes in the tub as best I could, hung them up to dry, and very upsettedly put them back on.
They still smell.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that smell out of these clothes, but you currently don't have replacements, so.
When they would knock, I would answer the door, dismay just on my face.
You still smell too.
Terribly.
Yes.
We will need clothes for this evening, obviously, and as well as clothes just in general.
That's why I came here.
So I will be venturing out before we attend the festivities this evening, and maybe.
I suggest all of us do if we're all gonna be there.
Yeah, we shouldn't smell like shit.
No.
Quite. Alright, the cab then.
Call Jimmy.
You called the number?
Yes.
Hello, love.
Hello, Jimmy.
It's him.
This is Lady Catherine.
Lady.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Hello, Jimmy.
We would like to request your car service at our hotel.
Well, lady, I got a car. Where you at?
I give him the name of our hotel.
All right, be there in a few.
How long is a few? Should we wait in our rooms or, wait downstairs?
Yeah, head on out. I'll pull up,
Okay.
get you in all proper like, all right?
All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, lady.
Vile. Then I
What?
hang up the phone.
All right. Let's head down then.
I know. Stash the gun in the room. Make sure the do not disturb is still on.
Did you just take the gun? And you took some magazines?
Mhm.
Okay.
Got an ammo?
Yeah, you can stick it under the bed and be on your way. You guys, everyone waiting outside?
I've got the backpack on, and the goblet is in the backpack.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are there waiting. More than a few, a little longer than you'd like. Right when you're really starting to get annoyed, though, a cab pulls up. You recognize a cab, and you see just the most average-looking cab driver, just a little cabbie hat, sunglasses, even though it's night out. Kind of a prominent nose, but that's it. The window comes down about halfway. You with the lady?
Yes, Jimmy.
All right. He steps out. walks over and picks his hat off from out and puts it back on and opens the door. After use.
I'm not going to slide across the seat. Go on.
I'll take front.
Don't smell like any lady I've met.
Watch it, Jimmy.
Alright.
I'll sit in front.
I slide in,
Slide in as well.
sitting on the middle.
Closes it, walks around, and gets in. Alright, where to? He looks back, and now you see what was a very plain looking, just nondescript cab driver is clearly a Nosferatu. Huge nose, huge sort of bat-like ears, just like a classic, like from the film. Eyes as big as these glasses he's got on. Where we heading?
We need clothes.
Clothes.
Very nice.
Alright, very nice it is. Not where I shop, but I know where it is. Want any tunes?
Sure.
Sure.
Alright. He turns on the radio and
What's playing? It's 2012. What's going?
What do you have
The
playing?
party don't stop till I walk in.
It's Cher Lloyd, right? Like it's got to be Cher Lloyd.
Show. Something plays. Yeah.
need
Are
to
you
have
looking
that
at
on
Britain Top
cue.
100
Alright, I'll look
2012? We'll edit it out.
it up. Nope, this stays.
You
I
know,
think 2012 was Once You Back. I think
why are
it
we
was
doing this
playing
again?
at
You're embarrassing yourself.
it was played at my prom.
And now you're really embarrassing
No,
yourself.
you
It was We Are Young. It was Payphone. Oh, Wild Ones by Flowride is on.
Oh,
Hell
Oh, Next to Me by Emil Sandy. I love that song.
Can you just read old songs?
Yep.
For the rest of the episode.
Something for our UK fans, something called Mama Do the Hump.
yeah. No, that's a good. It's a good one.
Is it?
It's underrated.
By Rizzle Kicks.
Oh, I know the cover of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Fulton Old
plays
Navy.
Starts heading towards a much different part of town. Is that thing you want to say or discuss on the way?
So we go clothes shopping and then we go cop shopping.
If we're buying nice clothes, there should be plenty of police officers around, right? It's a nice area.
Depends on how we want to go about this. Do we have directions to the place?
You need directions? Jimmy knows.
well, we'll be going to Charlotte
Charlotte.
this evening.
Don't know is Charlotte.
Wasn't that the name of the hotel?
The Shard.
The Shard. Oh, I thought you said the Charlotte. The Shard. We're going to the
Scarlet was that person's name.
No, I know.
She did a mash.
Shard.
Shard.
Well, same area, innit? So, it's like you're in for a treat. The Shard is near his points, and you see this huge skyscraper.
It looks
Nothing
like
like
a shard of glass.
anything, any of you have seen before. Sort of a pointed top. Brand new. Shard. Haven't been in myself yet. Line's been ridiculous, but I plan on it.
Looks lovely.
See old merry old London from up there? Good spot. You in clothes. You're gonna need clothes to get in a fancy spot like that, won't you?
Imagine so.
Hence the call, Jimmy.
Alright. And yeah, eventually he gets you to a very nice shopping district where might not have a lot of time, but you can get in a few places before they close. Alright, have at it. You got my number if you need a pickup.
Appreciate it, Jimmy.
Right.
Do we tip him?
Yeah, I would pay him, tip him, or whatever.
I appreciate that, Mom.
Of course, Jimmy. We will see you shortly, I'm sure.
At your disposal.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll let you out. Go on his way.
Let's go shopping.
We're all heading to the store together?
You gonna help us find something posh?
Although I'm sure you need my help, I don't know how well this would present all four of us stinking rats walking in the store at the same time. We would be thrown out immediately, I'm afraid. So, we may have to go into separate stores. Unless you think they won't have a problem with us all walking in together.
I'll just give you my measurements. I trust you.
Do you have them on hand? Alright. You don't want to see what they have at all?
I mean, I'll go in there with you, but you just told me not to.
There's plenty of stores that we can go into separately.
Fuck it, I'll go into this one.
Okay.
Oh, Old Navy.
It's in a nice area.
It's a really nice Old Navy.
Wait,
We need some
Money,
money.
please.
Yeah, from your understanding, you have a lot of money. That would be more than enough to get
I'm
you what
sure
you need.
inflation hasn't affected our perception of this at
I'm
all.
about to buy this whole goddamn town.
I've never held this much money in my life.
You take Tommy and I'll take Alice, and we can split up and get this done quickly.
All right, done.
All right, come along.
All right, Tommy, let's get you settled. Be something nice, real nice.
Right.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
How did you split the money up? Evenly? Or
She giving me $100 just to see how far it gets.
I probably would have
That's enough for a car.
done like 200 pounds.
Okay.
Just because I don't know what people plan like accessorizing with. I don't know
sure.
what everyone's doing. I was also born a very long time ago, so like I still think accessories are everything. So I'd give
Sure.
a couple hundred each.
You'll have the rest.
And you think it's like so much money.
Should be enough.
Okay. So yeah, you can easily find something for your amount. What would you look for?
Something kind of nice, but not like posh. So just like a nice coat and simple shirt.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
In this neighborhood, actually, you probably couldn't, but someone would be
On the sales rack.
probably talking down to you a little bit, but letting you know that something more in your budget, and they'll point you in direction to stores that'll fit that budget.
That would be Tiffany. Right in.
And yeah, you could
Sweet.
head down a few blocks, find a department store, and get a decent
Top shop.
jacket.
I'd also look for a duffel. I could find one.
Yeah, you could do that. A lot of looks, obviously. He's a horrific burn victim, essentially. But it's odd. People are you're used to looks. You're used to some of the stares, a lot of disgust. People seem more weirdly polite about it than you're used to. Like there's still the stares, but it seems how people react to it's changed. They definitely treat you differently. You still don't like it, but it's I don't know. It's a different. People used to be a little more fine gawking at you than they are now. But maybe it's just because you're in a nicer area. You're not quite sure. It bothers you a little bit, and you do remember a feeling of when people used to actually look at you with reverence, with respect. You in your uniform. You remember briefly returning home. Although that memory also comes with the fact that you've never really had a solid home. But for a moment, you have a bit of pride in your appearance as you did once. But the only time you really cared was in your uniform. And that's past. Now you've settled on your jacket. You find a duffel bag and you're set. Alice.
I'll kind of go off Lady Catherine's recommendation, have her try to point me in the right direction, and then kind of go from there. So like whatever.
Actually, yeah, probably you three would reconvene a little bit if you go to look for them. Each of you would not be able to find something suitable for how much you were given.
Okay.
You would probably, or not you, the doctor. You'd probably seek out Lady Catherine, who I'm sure is taking her time, picking things out, looking at things. You probably haven't really gotten to price yet in your stage of the shopping. Before these two have the prices become an issue. Where Alice, you could still probably find something. Just not. It depends. If you're comfortable picking out your own thing, someone can help you out, find a dress, but it'd be a sale, something on sale in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
So would you go to a different store or go to Lady Catherine?
Probably go to Lady Catherine.
Okay.
She's the one who had the directions about Elysium.
Okay, so before you get anything then, we'll go to her?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we were going to split up and go together anyway.
Okay, so yeah, eventually as you're getting fitted for some things, these two would probably around the same time find you in the store you were last seen at.
Where are you close?
As you were both baffled at the price. It did give you so £1,000 in 1940 in 2019 equals £55,500. So once you would see the price tags and it would not make sense.
I would just like the nearest item, flick up the price tag at you. You seen this?
It's cheap material. Why would it even be made? Thank you. I will be not purchasing this today.
Get a very judgmental look from the woman who was helping out.
It's very unoriginal.
As we walk out of this show, are we walking out?
As is your haircut. Yes.
Shove it! And let the door swing behind us.
We all still smell like shit, remind you.
You still need clothes.
We'd try to wander down to an
challenge.
area.
Yeah,
This is the real challenge of the night. Those cops, no problem. But this, yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Try to wander eventually down to like a cheaper area.
Sure. You want to go settle for something cheaper? You can.
I feel like I hit a sales rack, get like a leather jacket, like sturdy material,
Okay.
looking cool.
Can't you talk someone into giving us a discount or something?
Oh fuck! I could do that.
And I liked how angry you got.
Just being offended and leave.
Come on, Jordan. I mean, Catherine. I don't want. If we're gonna go to Elysium, I don't want to buy cheap clothes.
I know it's
I show up.
people.
Foot up.
Tommy, we said buy clothes. Oh.
People that would be there remember me from my past, and this will not be a great representation of who I was. But we will do what we can, and I will say what I can.
All right.
Let
Let's
us
check out this
shop.
Macy's.
No, Nordstrom at least.
So where are you
God
heading?
forbid.
You're heading back to the store, to a different
Nordstrom
store?
Rack, maybe.
Did you want to head back there, see what we can do?
There's a different nicer store. I think we put our bridges here. We had a good walk out. So.
Yeah, let's pop over to a nearby one.
Alright, you go right nearby. At this point, the woman at the door says, "I'm so sorry." You could tell she's wrinkling her nose a little bit. We are actually getting ready to close. There is a department store a few blocks that way that will remain open for the next couple hours.
I want to activate
Potence.
It's just one lady you can entrance her.
Wouldn't it be easier if I awe her first?
Yeah, you actually
yeah.
are. She blinks and looks at you with that disrespect that was dripping off her. Starts to fade a little bit. You tell she's actually seeing you in a new light a bit.
Darling, I know I don't appear like I belong here, but let me introduce myself. I'm Lady Catherine, and I've been in a terrible accident this evening, and I have a party to go to, and I need a gown.
She takes your hand, you offer it, and it's weird, but it's not. She's more embarrassed for herself not knowing what to do rather than like you doing such an animated thing. She goes and she glances. There's like a security guard at the door, sort of looks at her, but not in a weird way. Like, yeah, dude, do something. Yeah, she kisses her finger. Yeah, sorry. Give me a charisma persuasion. Go ahead and add your presence since you're using all.
It's not seduction at all.
Unless.
Unless.
Wow.
Wow.
That was so
Is
bad.
that what she says?
Power.
You might not have met me, dog.
Wow. You recognize that?
Lady Catherine.
Wow, 3 successes.
It's not bad.
No, that is enough.
Considering the pull I
sure.
had.
Yeah, for sure, but
we do have a few moments. Sure, let's right this way. Actually, we have a few things. A formal body, you said?
Yes.
Some things that would work lovely on you, actually. And she goes and starts picking some things out. And she gets another Marcus. She gestures. And the man comes over. You can tell they're getting ready to close. And he's what are you looking for?
whatever the trendiest, I guess.
Struck me as trendy. All right, this way.
Vintage, is it?
Vintage trendy would be perfect. Something neat.
We can do neat. And yeah, and then they'll getting you fit for outfits. What are you looking for?
I guess in her mind she'd be thinking a gown, but I kind of envisioned her finding a jumpsuit that's like with like train sleeves,
Okay.
like maybe an emerald green, something very striking, like progressive, but she wouldn't think of it on her own, but if she brought it out
Yeah,
to
you
her,
wouldn't
she
think
would
she
fall in
brought
love
it
with
out,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something that's
like
not a design you've ever seen someone wear, but it's something about it. You
Different style.
really can see.
Fabric.
Once you're in it and you see yourself, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just looking for a very nice, neat suit, jacket, 3-piece.
Okay. Yeah, something classic.
Yep.
Nothing too flashy or anything. Just something.
Nice hat,
Clean, put together.
nice
Easy
cuffs,
enough. Alice,
cologne too.
they can do that. Or no, you got your
leather
jacket.
jacket, probably.
So you have, unless you wanted to also get something from this nicer place. You're not sure what the plan is quite yet. You know, you all three can't afford something here, but I don't know if you want to roll with it or stick with what you got.
Yeah, I would just, at this point, it's a challenge.
Bite your tongue and get some of that blood ready.
I would just like hold up the cheap leather jacket and just be like, you got anything to go with this?
Sure, and then like take it.
I love this.
And
They
go
burn
and find something a little more youthful,
Like
less
a silk shift dress.
Yeah,
Mm.
but something it actually you can tell they're good. They're full of
It's my
themselves.
favorite
Something
part
about
of
their
any
type you don't
episode.
like, but they're good at their job. They actually find something very flattering for you.
Okay.
Alright.
And I would try to get like boots. I don't think she's a heels person.
Sure, yeah. They have accessories here. They get all three of you all sorted, and then they probably went past closing. They would keep it open for you.
We're obviously gonna spend a lot of money.
Yeah. You guys have. Are you getting multiple outfits or just getting something for tonight?
just one for tonight, and we'll try to figure something out.
Yeah.
for the next
Rob will place some.
To read our notes.
But yeah, they close the doors. And,
Collective.
yeah. Comes to that time when they await payment. Once they get everything sorted out, like, all right, you'll be having this, and all right, I'll
wanna
give you
hear the
the
price.
total, which you're making me look up.
This one's
I
got
just
this.
want you to say something outrageous so I can be outraged. Inside, I won't be outraged outside.
I'm gonna sound some death out of the store.
That'd be cool.
I've got pretty good stealth. I'll just.
If you guys snuck out, and I could finish it up.
She's like, I can't afford that much.
The
Homer
homeless
Simpson.
just sink into the bushes.
I assume it'd be outrageous because
I
U.S.
don't know. I don't
dollars
buy
would
this
be
stuff. I don't
outrageous.
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jewelry.
you're gonna ace like
Shoes.
$600-$700 for a full suit, at least. If that's not even like that.
Oh, this would be in the
much.
thousands. I
Yeah,
would
it'd be
imagine.
thousands.
Because these are like
for each
designer
outfit,
brands.
Yeah.
You're at like the Fifth Street of
$4,000.
Yeah.
whatever the London equivalent is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thousands and thousands of pounds.
Per outfit.
Yeah, you could easily get a nice suit for a few grand, and hers as well.
Compel only works for one person.
There's only one person checking you out, though. I mean, the others like worked and they got their outfits together, but there's only one person at the register right now.
Look at that little.
I would lean in with my perfume on and my outfit on, hair like falling down. Is it the girl that helped us originally that I awed like initially?
Yeah.
I want to use compel.
Okay.
Do you need to roll first?
Is it a
Or
roster?
say- No, there's no cost, but there's a dice pool.
No.
But she's
She's an
un-
unknowing mortal. This works. And she goes, "We got him."
They're so loud. You go back to hear
I
that.
forgot I have an actual. I'm so used to pretend.
Apologies for the audio.
Called the kindred stealing clothes again.
Again.
She's 85 years old. She
Darling.
remembers us.
I just
You're
imagine
going to
like
let
there's
us walk out
there's
of
other
here
kindred secrets.
scot free.
It's the least I can do.
We won't forget it.
All right. Neither will I. Thank you.
Lost her job.
I kiss her across the counter and walk out.
She blushes and barely keeping her composure. She's not keeping her composure together, but yeah. You guys head out, and the doorman lets you out.
Fuck yeah!
Very nice.
Well done,
So
Lady
excited.
Catherine.
Very nice.
And then you find Tommy with his cheap jacket and duffel bag.
Right.
Oh, I got a nice bag to put my goblet in.
Okay.
That's not a stinky backpack.
Yeah.
So you guys come close.
See, you tried.
Hey, lad.
I think it looks
It's
good.
not-
It's a joke.
When people look at me, they don't see what I'm wearing.
That's fair. All right, time to get a
I
gift,
pat
right?
Tommy on the back because I think I think you did a right good job with what you had, money wise. It's fucking ridiculous. I pat him on the back.
Right then.
People who only see clothes only want to see clothes.
I don't need no pity party. Let's move on.
Let's go. Trying to get a gift now, right?
Oh, fuck. Right.
You got him.
My phone lit up when you said that.
Only vampires curse and steal.
Right. I look around the street, like as we're walking to the shard. Will we see a police officer?
I look for a police box because we were last here in the 40s.
Do they still do those? I can't
Not
imagine
now.
they do.
just the Doctor Who. He knows
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Doctor Who.
You do see one Doctor Who.
What?
Book him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent police presence. It's a nice neighborhood, but they still have it to keep it nice. You also see, I mean, they warned you, there's cameras everywhere, and I mean, now you can see the streets are much busier, way more traffic than you remember, and yeah, there's what you assume to be clusters of cameras around every corner.
How do we want to go about doing this?
Well, we
You
can
look-
figure that out when we come back
What?
for our last chunk of this. Of London is Fallen.
That's a Gerard Butler movie.
Wrong one.
some nice clothes now. Someone will be fired later. That's not your problem anymore. Now all that's left is to get a gift and head to Elysium. What you gonna do?
So how do we want to go about this?
Well, you all could go ahead, and I could convince a police officer that I am in need of an escort for the evening because I'm alone and it would be perilous for me to walk by myself. It could work, and then it wouldn't seem suspicious, and he would walk me inside, and that would be that. He wouldn't seem under duress or anything of the sort.
Sounds good.
Sounds better than my plan.
Yes, if I had my tools, I could maybe.
We wouldn't want to cause a commotion.
No, I guess not. But, alright, I guess that's our best bet, but the three of us can be walking in without a gift. We just have to explain
Well,
that it's
We
on
should,
the way.
I mean, there's like a marker on the floor, right? We just don't go past that point till the copper shows up.
Sure.
All right.
Sure you want to go at this alone?
I see it as the only way to not draw attention.
Right then. Good luck.
Thank you. All right. Let's send them a little ways ahead of me, and
So you guys heading to the shard, or are you just waiting?
Waiting out front of the shop? I guess, yeah.
until you
out
see
front.
that I have
Yeah.
secured the package.
Okay. A little closer to the shard, you can see it's like I said, it's a big touristy, nice district. But as the evening goes, a lot of shops start closing. You can go into the building just fine. The bottom part of the shard is like retail area. Seems like there's minimal security. You could just sort of hang out there. There's some of the shops are starting to close. Plenty of different elevators leading to different areas, though. But you guys will wait outside the building for now while you go and find an officer. They seem to be in pairs, at least, in this area.
I can trance one and compel the other. Be pretty cool if I showed it too. Okay. I would walk up to a couple. If there's quite a bit of distance that I notice between other cops and them, if that was an option, then I
Sure.
would try to choose that.
Yeah, you'll take your time to find ones that, speaking them won't immediately alert any others within eye shot.
Kind sirs,
Mom?
good evening. I'm afraid I'm without my escort this evening, and I'm rather nervous of walking to my destination by myself. Would you mind to accompany me?
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. Where would you like to go?
I'm just walking down to the shard.
Yeah, it should be fine. And the officer says, "Yeah, I can handle that just fine." And he's like, "Well, I was already talking to her, so I could probably take care of this." He said, "Well, yeah, but this is your post, so." And they're sort of looking at each other. And,
Would you both like to accompany me? And
Not really. Well, okay.
I would go ahead and trance one and then compel another, just to get ahead of the game before we get too close and
Okay.
they try to
I
leave.
believe entrancement is arouse.
Succeed.
You look at Hunger as you look into one, and he. Which one are you entrancing? Which one are you? We'll start with entrancement. Which one are you trancing?
Which one doesn't? What's the difference?
I don't know if there's a difference to you.
The right one or the left?
The one you were initially talking to, or the one who sort of interjected that he would take you.
The one I was initially talking to.
Okay. Yeah. He's you've seen that look in many people's eyes towards you, and you have him.
And then I would turn to the other to compel him.
Okay. Give me a roll for the compel.
Compel. Charisma dominate. And then can I add dice for seduction?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have 3 dice if I have 3 spells on that? Or is it just 1?
It's just one.
Just one
okay.
for the specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have awe going
So
as
compel
well.
is a command. What are you saying with the compel?
Stay with me this evening.
Okay.
And then can I add 1 since I have awe on as well? For a charisma roll?
Yeah, I'll let you add one for that.
Four successes.
When you entrance the one, you see the other one gives a curious look for a second. His eyes narrow a little bit as you touch, and it's a seemingly mundane, flirty thing, but it really has a quite sudden effect on his partner. And his eyes narrow until he looks at you. Says, "Stay with me," and his eyes sort of relax. And of course, Mom.
Take their arms.
Yeah, they happily oblige. And
Make small talk on the way down.
okay, yeah.
Trying to stay in very general topics because I don't know anything.
The one compelled is pretty quiet. He's just kind of doing as he's told. And he's more focused on like physically staying with you. The other one is starts telling a little bit about a woman like you. I mean, who knows what could happen? It's a safe city. We make sure of that, but you never know. There's lots of weirdos out here. But
Anything can
and
happen.
I've run into my fair share. Never met one I couldn't handle. I'll tell you that right now. And yeah, as you guys waiting outside the shard, see her walking with 2 officers, arm in arm.
Well done.
2 mitts. That's what they call them, I think.
Thanks. Thanks for that culture.
Yeah. Outside the shard.
All right.
Hello? So, more talkative one gestures as you and looks towards a friend. So, is this it then?
Yes, but would you come inside just for a moment?
I see no reason why I can't.
It would be lovely.
No one just nods.
Alright.
Yeah. You see that lady.
I kind of ignore them, not trying to call attention to them at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just follow
Following
closely
behind.
behind, yeah.
Okay. While inside, all of you may give me wits awareness.
Do you have the sense the beast as well? I think it passively picks up on bestial.
Oh, okay. It's good to know. Let's go get
No successes, but I do want to sense the unseen.
okay.
2 successes, and I'll do the same.
2 successes.
1 bestial fair.
Oh, we lost
I
one
hate to
cop.
see it.
Good thing you got 2.
Hey man, don't sneak up on a war victim.
Mhm.
Or war vet. So.
True. Both are true.
Well, sadly, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or only lose victims.
I know. Kid got punched
No
in the face.
victors.
Lindsay?
I should
Yeah.
write that down.
Shout out. So glancing around, not sure exactly where to go. It's a pretty big, intimidating place. People haven't been in a place quite this busy. You don't see anything obvious, but you do sense something. You sense a stirring. You sense your blood, sort of recognizing other blood, heading towards a set of elevators. As you watch them go towards the elevators, you can see pretty discreetly just worked into, there's tons of just advertising and stuff all around, because this is a retail area at the bottom floor. But mixed in with one next to one of the elevators, you can see the sign of the Camarilla. And this is where you see a woman who is soon to be kindred walk through a set of glass doors, and you watch as she speaks to those 5 men on the other side. She's speaking to them for a few moments, and unless you'd like to approach, are you going to let her do her thing?
Doesn't seem anything too suspicious. I'll just kind of note it.
Okay. Yeah, you hang back for a moment, and it's hard to kind of see through. It's like frosted glass, but after a little bit, she moves further to some elevators on the other side of these glass doors. Seems to be where to go.
Kind of point in that direction. I think it's this way.
All right.
Come on, boys.
Now, the one just says this.
I want you to meet some of my friends so they can say thank you for your hard work that you do here in the city.
All right, but I do have a very important job, so must be getting back eventually. But sure, I mean, I can say hello. Yeah, you head through the glass doors, where you see 6 men, all in very expensive tailored suits, all wearing a pin of the Queen's crest. They immediately tense up with the presence of 2 police officers.
Their presence.
Good evening, dears. I am...
One of the larger ones steps up. This is invite only.
And I have brought gifts from Lady Catherine.
May I see your credentials?
I've been slumbering for a very long time. Scarlet. I spoke to Scarlet.
Believe we're on the list.
Lady Catherine Montague.
Ask you to step aside with them. Not those 2.
Okay.
Yeah, you tell her the one won't leave your side, as he's been compelled not to. And the guard just sort of looks at him.
He's as harmless as a lovesick puppy.
You wait here, you 3. The list is mostly, we just need to verify that you should be here. Credentials, please.
Oui.
And he itches.
Bring him out.
That'll do. All right. He gets on a radio. It says 4. You wait in the ears. This should be down in a moment.
Thank you.
And you see him step aside again, and he speaks kind of quietly into his radio again.
Can I have a heightened sense to hear what he says?
Yeah, so you heighten senses. You hear, and you say, 2 officers. Gifts, though. Should be alright, but let's have some extra security ready in the lift.
It's gonna be like that Captain America scene.
Anybody want to get off?
The kids.
Alright.
So what's that?
And as this should be in a second, I'm afraid you will have to pass through some detectives here. Phones, weapons, and whatnot. We'll have to stay here. You'll get them on the way out.
Clean.
And yeah, there's just a little area you walk through metal detectors to get to the actual. You're giving up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll take it and find me on the way out.
Right.
The offices. And the one who's entranced with you says, do you need me up there as well?
Yes, darling. Just one more friend I want you to meet, and
no
then
problem,
you can be
no
on
problem.
your way.
Yeah, he'll put away his communication devices and whatnot. I don't think they're armed, so I don't have anything to bring. The other one, who's staying with you, says, goes through the metal detector, takes off his stuff, but it goes off when he goes through.
Darling, what presents have you brought with you?
I'll stay with you like I should, but certain things I should keep on me.
Such as?
I am armed for a reason. City's not as safe as a lot of people would think.
Well, darling, you are safe here. Just leave them here, and then we'll come back and grab them on the way out. We'll only be but a minute.
I this point, you would probably need to entrance him as well.
Okay.
If you would like to try that.
Can I do both?
Yeah, you can.
Like simultaneously, like
You
have
do
them
a rouse
entranced?
for-
Yeah, you can't do like one entrancement that hits everyone at
yeah,
once, but you
okay.
can target different people.
I get hungrier.
Okay.
She was at
Give me the roll.
No, I'm at 3.
That's okay.
Entrancement.
I think it's your charisma plus your presence. And then whatever awe bonuses or seduction bonuses or whatever.
First presence. Oh, presence. I was looking at. I'm an idiot. Well, no, I'm not.
Your
Hold on a
character's
second.
not?
So stupid now.
You call me a character?
No.
Oh.
Mandy, please.
I'm sorry, I was in the wrong section.
The secret.
Actually,
So it's charisma
Oh,
plus
sure.
presence versus composure and wits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it on these.
You wished it.
Oh, I have it.
Do I have anything else? Like a die for awe or whatever?
If you're activating awe, yeah, you can
Yeah,
add that to
I've
your
had
charisma
it.
roll.
I've had it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ay, caramba.
I'm gonna use willpower.
Ooh.
4 successes.
Oh, good thing. Seems start to get a little nervous. You, with your heightened senses, you can hear his heart beating. You can tell something's not right. Seems a little more observant, a little more together than his partner. You look, and you have to really connect with something in there. He has some resistance that you're not used to, especially from a kind. But as a kind, he cannot stand up to your mental disciplines. He eventually, his shoulders soften again. As he, no, you're all right. Being paranoid, crazy things happening. And yeah, he'll remove a pistol and leave it with the ghouls.
Does his heartbeat go down?
Yeah, it starts pace, and as well as from his belt, he has a couple of grenade-looking things that he leaves with him. The ghouls just sort of look and, all right.
I would toss the duffel bag to him. And I'm keep all our stuff together.
That's a good. So
Nice.
good as that. Eventually, the elevator opens. The lift. Step aside. Glass elevator and are taken up quite a while. You see, you are heading to floor 66.
A lot of whispering.
So many 6s.
Oh, jeez.
When the lift opens, you see an immaculate scene. It's breathtaking and unlike anything any of you have experienced. Not that you're not used to high society, you're not used to literally this elevation. All of London is laid out before you, granting this sensation of power and supremacy that's entirely the point. You can see the London Eye, huge Ferris wheel, the tower and the London bridges over the River Thames. Nothing in the city can hide from this view on a clear night like this with the glass walls. It's a huge atrium surrounded by shaded glass, though you can still see, like I said, the twinkling lights of the city through it. There's elegant glass staircases leading to several mezzanines at different heights. Kindred dressed in finery are clustered in groups, enjoying the view, company, and scheming that the space seems to promote. There's multiple doors along the very edges of the room, leading to private chambers and meeting rooms. In the very center, there seems to be a staircase heading into a platform that seems to almost be floating there, made entirely of glass. And you can sense the importance of that. You can't quite see everyone there, but you catch a glimpse of a woman who you can only assume is Queen Anne Bowsley. Before you really get a chance to take all this in, a young, beautiful tan woman in a bold yet tasteful emerald dress glides towards
Ah,
you.
shit.
It's a leather folder open in her hand and the pen twirling between her fingers like a dagger.
Same color.
Oh, I know.
Lady Catherine, you came. This is Lady Scarlet Churchill.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We're the fucking
Just wear it better than she is. That's all you
Well,
gotta
not
do.
wearing a dress, so that helps.
She's looking quite intently at you with a big fake smile plastered on. She takes all of you in. Her eyes go wide for a moment and she quickly makes a point not to look at the Nosferatu. Well, of course you're looking as sharp as ever. I see you've adapted to the times quite well after your slumber. So please allow me to add you and your friends to the list. I assume you wish to speak to the Queen tonight?
Of course.
Very well. And she very elegantly takes down some notes in this leather-bound folder she has. Now, you must understand the prince is terribly busy this evening, with whatnot, but please do make yourselves at home. There's no shortage of fascinating guests in attendance tonight, and refreshments are available wherever you see fit. And I will take your gifts as well, and I will personally find you once the queen is free to speak. I'm so relieved to know you're well, by the way. No one had heard from you or Angelique after the London Blitz, and we'll need to catch up,
Of course.
time permitting. These are your gifts. Impressive.
Yes, one of them may be most impressive. He seems to be very clever indeed.
She looks, and at this point, both of them, though entranced, are just sort of wide-eyed. Gentlemen, follow me. She gives each of them a look, and they look at you at first.
Go on, boys. She'll show you around the place.
She seems a bit annoyed that they didn't immediately obey her command. She looks like, as I said, follow me. And she glides off, giving you one last glance before exiting with her gifts. And you can see some other people gathered around. You can see there's a little bit extra security here. There's a bit of tension, like the officers stepping in. But you see some nods. Some people are quite impressed of what you've brought. So, you have some time. What would you like to do?
I would like to grab a drink, personally.
I'd go find all the finger food.
So yeah,
Fingers, right?
you can
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
It seems there is no need for a masquerade here. There are people openly sipping from wrists of all kinds as they kindred speak to one another. You're barely in the room actually when some would just walk up to you and offer themselves a drink if you'd be so inclined. Not sure what your particular tastes are, but whatever it is, you can certainly find it here.
Yeah, I'm looking for someone who is among the wealthy as well.
Yeah, you can find someone. Now that you've seen some of the nice stores and know how expensive some of these things are, you spot something that you would assume is quite expensive, and you would make your way towards a group of the more wealthier looking mortals. Person?
I'm gonna try to find scholarly looking individuals.
He just goes up to somebody wearing glasses.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. Sure. Give me so you go around and you look for people who look academic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe lingering a little bit to catch bits of the conversation to hopefully verify before
Fact check.
selecting a very promising seeming young man who's being a bit precocious about some research he's been doing.
I'm kind of just doing rounds and seeing if anyone recognizes me. Like if I can catch it in anybody's eye.
Give me a wits awareness.
It would be nice to know if someone hates me. I would like to find out now.
That's your assumption that they hate you. Well, you did meet Scarlet, so I guess it's the first assumption you would have.
Well, I was like, well, somebody recognized you right away.
You said there's one guy that I caught my eye.
I mean, there's a few, but you sort of
Okay.
honed in on this.
I'll let her do this one.
2 successes.
Okay. You kind of just walk around, make yourself seen. You are. People take note of you, cast various judgments.
That's fine.
Nothing quite catches you as like recognition. No one approaches you or anything.
Told me it would be pretty indiscriminate. Wouldn't care.
Just finding someone to feed from, or
Yeah.
see.
Just find anyone to feed, and then head off to a corner. Start keeping an eye.
Okay. All of you may reduce your hunger to 1. Finding people to feed from. Or if you're not hungry, you just enjoy. There's different resonance and different flavors here that are quite nice after you're just sort of throwing these people to be fed from and haven't had a proper, dignified feeding in a minute. Though give me a composure or I think it's charisma persuasion, doctor.
You have none. You need to use 100.
1 success.
You get well, luckily you're not hungry because you start to feed and this person pulls away as you barely get going. Just annoying. You see people freely feeding and whatnot. He winces and pulls away. Just sort of gives you a look. You try to just, it's fine, continue and whatnot, but you could tell you're hurting him. And some of the others watching you seem a bit taken aback at this. And you reminds you of something. Your people are complicated in so many ways. They're much easier to deal with when they're dead. You don't miss your clinical training, the constant stream of whining bodies clamoring for healing and attention. You remember the real work. The body, you look, and that man is laid on a table, a corpse, just starting to cool. The body before you will reveal its secrets, be it by science or sorcery. You finish carving some marks on his skin and begin to chant one more time. Was that a twitch of his hand you saw coming back, or perhaps this time it will work? And you see that twitching is constant as he's moving, as you're back in this lavish room, and he's holding onto his neck, still bleeding. You didn't even get a chance to lick it, just sort of giving you a look.
Bullocks. Please, excuse me.
You dismiss him, and he looks, and some of the others are sort of muttering among themselves.
No, I'm gonna excuse myself.
Yeah, as you go, you can hear them. They don't wait long to start muttering some things.
My stealth heightened sense is going. What do you say? I'm gonna try to find food that seems a little bit passed out.
At this point of the night, you would probably have to create that food.
That's fine. If there's any drugs or alcohol at the party,
There's libations. You can find some things and try to find a target to get liquored up to the point of passing out, ideally.
absolutely. Well, actually, I mean, I don't really need to because I have 1 hunger, so I don't really need to eat.
That would be worth it. You're off the side. You two feed. Is there anything else?
I was very hungry, so that was a necessary thing to do at the beginning of the party, but now I would take the time to take a turn about the room. And kind of
Come, Miss Bennett.
yes, exactly. Kind of glide around the main floor, taking note, trying to recognize people, seeing if I'm recognized. That whole shebang.
Okay. You have a rather pleasant reception in the little groups you go to. By your physical appearance, your way of carrying yourselves, and your gifts seem to impress over. Already, people seem curious to get to know you. You don't see another one who directly recognizes you quite yet, though. You off to the side, though. You're not the only one who sort of has to seem to take a breather from all this. You see a small, maybe Nigerian woman, sort of separates herself from the pack, pointingly sits apart from everyone. You catch a glimpse, and you know the look, the madness, the beast in her eye. Her fangs are fully bared, but she seems deeply focusing on something. You've seen this. This is a woman on the edge of a frenzy. She's dressed in maybe some sort of more modern combat attire. She's dressed more for function and fashion, though there is sort of a silk covering over the top. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'll try to grab a blood bag from the crowd. Just kind of grab one. Come with me.
Sure.
Kind of bring him over to the woman.
Yeah,
So,
gentlemen.
I think we need to step outside.
Are you talking to him or
The lady.
She just looks up, and you see her eyes are just shaking, and the fangs are so loud. She looks, and she just looks at the mortal. I don't know if that'd be best. Can you give me a composure plus persuasion if you'd like. Unless there's anything particular you'd like to
Two
say to go with
successes.
this. Is there anything else you're saying?
Kind of look and say, well, love, I've seen that look before. If you don't quench it, something worse can happen.
She just gets up very quickly. She grabs the person and starts walking off to the side. There's not really an outside you could get to from here, but she just immediately makes a beeline for one of the rooms that look like you're close to off to the side. Did you follow?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, she goes, knocks the door open, and like throws the person in. And you see her, she struggling. You can tell she doesn't want to do what she's about to do, but the beast seems to have its way. As she then throws herself on this person and bites into him.
I'll try to stop her before she kills him.
Okay. Yeah, give me a strength brawl.
This would be grappling.
Yeah. You got a special?
Okay.
If you want to use potence, you can.
Yeah, I'll have to rouse. Good.
Alright, add your potence.
Probably
to
don't know why I marked that.
Yes, I think that was a good roll.
Good roll.
Ooh.
5.
Just beat her. This woman's small but crazy strong, obviously for a kindred. And you go and you see as I mean, you've seen more than your share of dying bodies. You see him start to fade, and you go to pull, and she goes to shove you off, and you just grab that arm and just bring it in a grapple, bring her a Nelson, and you just slam her on the ground, and you kind of tumble for a minute. Before you land on top, and you have her just pinned down, and she hisses, fangs bared at you, and before
Right then, love. Control yourself.
you see just blood coming out of her eyes. Thank you so much. And you feel her relax a little bit, and you feel comfortable. something or something. She gets up.
Right then. Name's Stormy.
Asida. It's been a night. Tommy, I don't believe we've met. Pardon
away
my
from town.
assumption, but Nosferatu.
Yes.
I'm Clan Banuhiki. Freelance work in town. I would not have forgiven myself should I have lost control. It does not like our people. I thank you. I owe you one.
What all happened tonight? Lead you to this?
I have a immortal retainer, let's say. He was on his way to pick up a blood payment. Seems he was caught by Antigen.
Antigen.
Yes. So they're calling themselves, those in the government with militarized and focused on hunting our kind. Among the kindred, my clan were the hunters. We are the hunters. And without the blood, and finding out his fate, as I said, it's been a long night.
Right then. Believe we've run into them.
You fared well?
I'm here.
True. Lots of people have stories about faring well, but I'm not sure I believe them all. Either way, I don't plan on idly standing by. Something should be done, yes?
Right. Seems like all London's about to fall down on itself.
I think it's worse than people assume. They know there's a bit of they know there's more activity than there used to be, but they're not worried like they should be. Perhaps I can count on you, Art, to help me look at some loose ends. At least for the individuals who took Jeremiah from me. And in exchange, if there's anything you need of me, you have it.
Well, now that you say it, we are looking for a few notable kindred.
I can help with this. Who?
There's a Richard the Walled. Sri. Whose name I didn't catch last. Sri Sansa.
Richard the Ward. He's yes. He's not here tonight?
I've no way of knowing if he is. Never seen him.
I will make my rounds and look for you. I can do that. I need to get out of this room anyway. He is a Nosferatu. His domain is the London Underground. He's not one to miss Elysium. He's not one to miss anything. Too much people's annoyance. I want to see if I can track him down for you.
We appreciate it. And I'll be glad to help you again.
Yes. Thank you, Tommy. So, give a firm shake. Compose herself a little bit. Wipe some of the blood from her and be on our way. Anyone else? Any information you're looking for?
I'd be looking for a Tremere.
Give me a wits subterfuge. Oh, well, it depends. Are you gonna be direct and ask around this, or are you trying to like listen in and
I think I would just be
discreetly pick one up?
direct. No, I'll try to be discreet. I think it's gonna be the same bad
Okay. So
roll
with this,
either way.
well, it depends. Do you want to discreetly enter a conversation to try to find out, or do you want to just sort of listen in on people?
I'll just try to listen in.
Okay. This will be, we could do a wits subterfuge then, or a wits stealth, whichever you'd like to do.
Oh, that's better. Gonna use a will.
Okay.
Two successes with the bestial fail if I really fail.
Nice. You listen in. You eventually catch a little bit about Tremere. A couple speaking that everyone knows that Tremere are trying to take London from Queen Anne. This is Mithras' death. And then they sort of notice you and get quiet. Offer you a smile.
Evening.
Evening. Can we help you?
Nope, just making the rounds. Name's Alice.
Alice.
Mockingdale?
Which clan?
Tremere.
Oh. So nice to have your kind here.
So nice
So
to be
you've made
here.
yourself quite comfortable in our city.
Yeah. Good
Well, we
evening to you.
really must
Yep.
be going, yes.
Crushing it.
I guess I was making the rounds. Would I?
You would actually be pulled aside.
Cool.
So you're making your rounds. There's two. There's a group sort of gathered around two kindred that seem to be in a pretty heated dispute, and one quite attractive woman, also sort of a nice business party attire. Lady Catherine, was it? She's made quite a splash in your short time here. Perhaps you can weigh in on our little argument.
About.
Well, you see, we have me and Caleb here, and you can see them. Young man she's arguing with is quite obviously a Nosferatu. Quite sickly looking, though dressed like he's cleaned up well. You can't help his disfigurement. We both share the neighborhood of St. John's Woods. I'm sure you know it's quite affluent. And Caleb is allowed to dig up any scraps he finds beneath my domain. Caleb says I was, until she started using her deals and her influence to shut down the station nearby. Every other week a new tunnel shut down, and I can't do what I need to do. She's trying to drive me out. Ain't right. And at this point she says, well, I am not. I think he's just using this as an excuse because I keep catching him hunting above ground, which is forbidden. He says, I haven't, but soon I might have to if you keep up the shit shutting out my domain. She goes, please talk some sense into him. Been in courts before. There's a few ways to settle disputes. There's the
Trial by blood.
there's a lot of times just whoever has the best status tends to win, whether they're right or not. You can play the status card here. There also is a bit of a crowd gather. Sometimes it helps just have popular opinion, and a lot of eyes are on you to weigh in on this. Might be best just to be with whatever side has the most on their side anyway. But there's also the kindred law legalities. You know, the Camarilla law is a bit different, but you understand it's. I mean, they were around when you were around. It just wasn't Camarilla City. He knows what's right tends to be the same under their law, under Mithras' blood laws. But then again, sometimes it's taking the lesser evil, right? Whichever one might be more of a problem, should it not go their way. Sometimes it's best to avoid that. So would you like to pursue any of these? Which one of these methods seem best to resolve this?
She would kind of listen to if she can hear what the crowd is kind of leaning toward.
So you want to try to take the popular opinion?
I mean, her first instinct is to ask how far below ground her domain extends.
It's the underground. It's tunnels that used to be.
That's actually her domain.
Oh no! Her domain is above.
Her domain is land,
Yeah.
and his domain is below ground.
So do you want to take the more legality angle then?
I mean, the Camarilla function on rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
Legality. I mean, she's pretty smart, and even though she respects decorum of court, keeping the masquerade would also be super important. And tossing aside legality would make the masquerade difficult.
It's up to you. I mean, it's a complicated matter. It might be more difficult to figure out exactly who's right legal-wise, but that is might be the most impressive option. Should you figure that out if you want to attempt that? It's up to you.
Yeah, I would want to ask if the laws have changed since it has been many years since I have been awake, to be honest, and I'm curious, have the laws changed about domain? Does your domain now extend below ground, or is it above ground where you hunt?
It's a bit more complicated than that, as you see. Give me an intelligence. Use investigation or etiquette. Which you're using.
Etiquette.
Okay.
'Cause I don't have any investigation. Oh,
It's very good.
it's 4, 5.
That's a crit though.
Oh, so 4, 5, 6, 7.
Messy.
Okay.
7 messy.
You're like really
So
smart.
while asking about the details, using etiquette not to
Ruffle
accuse
feathers, yeah.
anyone, just leading them into questioning to maybe admitting if they push their rights under
claim.
kindred law. Like it is, she was not exaggerating. It's quite complicated, but you expertly sort of navigate, talking to her a little bit, letting Caleb weigh in, but making them both feel at ease to where they're not bickering; they're explaining themselves.
Like
Much-
literally like a good court of law,
yeah.
which is really
And the crowd seems quite impressed by your ability to do this. And by the end of it, becomes quite obvious, unfortunately, for Natasha, though she seems maybe more of your status. And more people seem to be on her side a little bit, especially she's likely a venture against Nosferatu. Caleb seems to have be more in the right in this claim, as you sort of lead them to their own conclusion, much to her dismay, and much to Caleb's pleasure. Especially he's never seen a venture shut down, especially in favor of a Nosferatu. And he's and he's not too smug about it, because I said you've done it in a way to where you kind of help temper some of the emotions. But yeah, Natasha still. Thank you. I must have unwittingly overstepped my bounds a few times. It happens, you know.
Of course. But in this rule, the masquerade is of utmost importance.
Of course, but I must be going now. And she quickly, in defeat, you can tell she does not like losing, but she makes away. And the rest are, really made quite a good impression on the rest, even the ones that probably were more leaning towards her. But it seems Natasha, maybe someone to keep an eye out for. But, yeah, Caleb says, thank you for that, by the way. Obviously, you didn't do that for me, but I'd be rude of me not to offer my services should you need them.
Thank you. I may be in need of your services at some point. We shall speak later. Good evening.
Offers you a bow, which before he was not showing the proper etiquette at all, but shows it to you. That's on his way. All right. Anyone else have any people they want to ask about? Any rumors they want to try to find? Anything like that?
The guy who was talking about his research, was it medical or just like...
It was.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Then
He's a med student.
I would talk to him then.
He's the one who's not happy with you because that's when you tried to.
Oh, that's the one I tried to... Oh.
Yeah, that's why you chose him.
Oh, I wasn't looking to... I was just looking for a medical guy to talk to, not to snack at that time.
Oh, you can find your way back to that circle, and there's some
Okay.
kindred. One of the other kindred a venture as a doctor. You could talk to him a little bit. He seems more of a, like he runs a hospital more than he probably really understands the intricacies of
Perfect.
the human body.
Oh, just express my desire to go back into business and acquire
Drugs.
necessary tools.
You practice.
I do. Been asleep for quite a bit, but I'd like to get back into it.
I see. Tremere, I assume?
No. Mikado.
Oh. Really?
Yes.
So you want to poke around our corpses, do you?
Sometimes they relay messages to help further the field.
Give me intelligence medicine. Because he seems to think you're some sort of grave robber, and you need to convince him that you are actually a man of medicine.
Does my anesthetics come into play for this?
Poking him?
You trying to bore him to death and put him to sleep?
Yeah.
3. Let me use the willpower. 4 successes.
Yeah, you talked to him a little bit. It's a little more than poking bodies, and you explain some of the intricacies and quickly are over his head, but also say some things. You've discovered some very interesting things in your macabre studies. Seem to pique his interest too. Actually, some of these could be of use. If you need a room and subjects at my hospital, it can be arranged.
That'd be most appreciated. How do I get a hold of
My
you?
card.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And yeah, how about his discussion?
I'll start poking.
Eventually, Adisa turns to you, Tommy. Quite curiously, he's not here.
Gilio. Is there any other notable figures missing tonight?
I'll be honest, I don't frequent this too much. I just know my reputation. Is there any other you're interested in specifically? You mentioned Sri Sansa?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's it's a restaurant called Subtle Spice. It's in the South Hall district. I believe he's the owner. Or if not, he's there quite often.
What of Anne Beasley?
Queen?
Oh.
Lady Bosley?
Pam Beasley.
Is it Bosley?
Bowsley?
Bowsley?
Yes, Queen. She's here.
Oh, it's her party.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Queen. I wrote Lady as well, but I think it's the same.
It's the queen.
It's the same last name. When they wrote the letter, it might have been Lady, and now she has said.
Yeah. Who else are you asking about? Sorry.
Another one. Gwendolyn? I didn't quite catch that name.
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn.
She's been missing for quite some time. Her grandchild, I believe, is here. Shunhei. Though I should warn you, Gwendolyn, Miss Arwen, she's said to be on the red list.
What? So red list.
It's a list the Camarilla keep of those who are considered criminals, potential to be blood hunted.
Something that would be your specialty then.
Exactly. That's not the contract I've received yet, but one I may pursue.
Right.
If you would like to be involved in that, I could help you.
Sounds like I might.
Shune, she also has quite a grudge against this anti-gen organization. Me and her have been in talks. Perhaps through her we can get more information about her grandsire. Anyone else?
No.
Okay.
Appreciate the help.
Ask about us.
That's what I can do. I will be around then.
She seems young.
Have a good evening, Tommy. We will be in touch.
Before our
So we
She
can
knows a lot of
contact you.
people.
Staying at the Moon Palace, right? So it's like-
Yeah, I will look it up.
Don't have any proper communication devices.
That's probably for the best these nights.
If you say so.
Okay, a pleasure. Shake again. Go on our way. Eventually, as you're sort of making small talk again, Scarlet finds you. The princess right here. Prince is like the official Cameron.
The queen.
Queen is her. She's given
Chosen.
herself that name. Yeah, that's her stylized rank. If you would be so kind to accent, I just wanted to get your coterie.
Get him. I would glance around the room, try to pick them out.
Okay. Unless there's anything else you guys would be doing.
Nope.
You'd be summoned, my Lady Catherine. All right, follow me, and please remember your proper respects. Your gifts have already been delivered, and she was quite pleased with them. Good job. Right this way. She leads you up the glass staircase leading up to the platform. There's already other people. It's not just the queen up there. But a lot of eyes are on all of you as you ascend up to this queen's platform. As you catch her from a side profile at first. And Queen Anne appears, her namesake, graceful, regal. She appears to be a woman in her 50s, has immaculately styled gray hair, wearing little makeup or making an effort to hide her age. She wears tasteful and incredibly expensive, deep violet dress. She turns from the group of important-looking kindred to greet you. She smiles, and all of you find yourself just like jostled to a stop, as if you were moving, although you weren't. And you're looking at each other, across from each other, as you're in a quite roomy and stylish carriage. All of you dressed in very nice 17th century finery, which you all somehow instantly recognize. There's also a man seated between Alice and Lady Catherine. And he has a big smile on his face as he fixes his jacket. And then the door opens for you. He's the first to eagerly step out. And he offers a hand to help each of you out. You're outside a very large, handsome manor house. So there's no servants to greet you, as should be custom. There's your own carriage driver who opened your door. But Valerius, as you somehow know this person's name, who he is, excitingly leads your procession forward through an unlocked front door and following a line of candles that give you pause at first from the flicking flames. Compose yourselves, and you follow him to a lavish ballroom where you see Lady Anne Bowsley is kneeling before you in a sumptuous gown. Valerius says, "Here she is. Isn't she wonderful? The Mithras himself has given me permission to embrace her." She just says, "I have bad news, I'm afraid." And that is where we'll call our first session.
Yeah.
Accents are hard.
They are
Hey,
hard.
accents very hard.
Going in and out of them. I gotta stick on one and just like live in it.
I don't know
But-
how British people do it all day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's so hard.
difficult, Yeah.
Kudos to you guys across the pond
Oh, okay.
in it. Otherwise,
Bro.
good job, guys. This was very different.
I liked it.
I
Such a
liked
different.
it.
I liked
So
it a
much
lot.
The
easier.
vibe.
Yeah, it's a
So
cool
much
kind of
easier.
mystery.
I feel way less pressure, like on me as a human, to play this character. So it's
Yeah,
great.
a lot
Yeah.
of the less personal angst of our
Ugh.
Yeah,
Arcane
it's
coterie.
love
I
it.
killed a dude already. Elijah just
Oh,
trying
yeah.
not to
You
kill
did.
somebody.
All of you are playing pretty different. Yeah,
yeah,
I like.
it was fun.
I think you guys are enjoying the different whatever.
Oh, green.
We should do an after show, so we'll talk about it more in that. But for now, fall was pretty cool. I like
It
it
was
so
cool.
far.
Yeah.
I think it's got some neat
badass.
stuff in store for us.
Yeah.
For their first, I think this is Modifius's first like chronicle-ish thing.
Well, it's fun. They're
Chicago
doing
by
very
Night
good.
has like the one scenario, but this whole book's sort of a scenario. Although we were already a chapter and a half in,
Oh, wow.
so we might hit
Cool.
this pretty quick. Since
Awesome.
you guys are pros now. All
Yeah.
right, that's us.
Yeah.
This is
Follow us on the Instagram,
follow us on
Twitters.
everything.
Follow us on everything.
YouTube.
The street.
Follow us, won't you?
Follow us home.
All right.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
There we go.
What's all this then? Bye.
Tally ho.
Oh, there we go.